is fucking awesome.
For the win with 2 seconds left.
A finger can literally be the difference between a W and an L.
What a turn of events!
It's what makes football wildly fun to watch and in turn, wildly fun to bet on, but I digress. The reason I'm doing this segment every week is to hopefully grow the respect for the game and to give love to the players who make all of this shit happen. Not just their skill and their amazing playmaking ability.
What I really like is the finish, man. Not a lot of guys would be able to make that 6 points.
This will be all about respecting these guys' big fucking brains.
Strong like bull. Woo! Smart like tractor.
I'm gonna be smart in this game, man.
Coaches usually get all of the credit in this beautiful minds of football space, but I want to shine a light on the players' brains.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
Let's go.
Stuff like Mahomes and Kelsey cooking up a last-second drive in one of the best playoff games of all time.
They're playing like that. That seam is open.
That ball go down immediately.
Bills rush 4. Mahomes throws. Kelsey open inside the 40. Breaks a tackle and down.
And stuff like this, all from week 1. How about scary Terry McLaurin recognizing a corner is playing lazy cover 2 technique all game, telling everyone and their mother about it.
Gotta let us run by that dude, bro. This cover 2, bro. They playing it so lazy. They're playing lazy over there all day.
Then, in the 4th quarter, when it matters, Carson Wentz hits Terry behind that lazy cover 2 corner.
Taking a shot down the field. There's McLaurin. Out of the 10. And in.
That's big brain football.
Come on, man. Hey, I've been lazy all day. All day.
How about Sunday night in Dallas? Tom Brady asking Mike Evans, "What you want, babe?" And Evans calling his shot. "Give me the fade."
Yo, Tom said, what you want? Tom said, what you want, babe? I said, fade.
He knows the man across from him and knows how to beat him.
I know how to get him. He trying to do that little stab. Yeah. My slow blade. Back out.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Here we go. We are back. We dropped off the YouTube feed for a little bit, everybody. I don't know exactly what happened. I heard that everyone on YouTube Live, football, nailed it. You see the timing there, boys. We got this. Here we go. We're back. So I don't know, Ty, anyone in the back can tell us what the issue is. I think everyone assumes that I came in. Phil sent me a message where someone said, tell AJ to stop chewing on the cords of the wife. Touche, very creative. I appreciate you, Internet. I agree. That's a very funny comment. But I don't think I had anything to do with it. All of a sudden, what? We just dropped off of YouTube, correct?
Allegedly. I don't know. Hopefully the guys in the back can fill us in a little bit more. Bill sent a text in that just said all of YouTube Live is down.
We're down.
Literally all of YouTube Live is down right now.
What do you think happened? Do we know?
No, but I just talked to Pat, and I told him, and Pat said, what a coincidence. So I assume he's in on some sort of conspiracy here.
Yeah, man. So if everybody on YouTube dropped off their YouTube Live, that's a big deal, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
Is that Zuck? Who do we talk to?
I don't think Zuck owns YouTube.
I know. It's Google owns YouTube, obviously. So Sergey and who's his other partner? Sergey Brin, and I don't know the other guy.
Me neither.
Come on, Ty. This is what you do.
No, I don't know the other guy's name.
Oh, Bill's in here. Here we go.
Bill, please give us the rundown, Bill, before we have Pat join us live from Knoxville.
So we just talked to our YouTube rep. Oh, wow, there's like a delay. This is tough. So we just talked to our YouTube rep, and they said that AJ Hawk in the Thunderdome was too electric for all of YouTube Live to handle. Yeah. No, we have no fucking idea what happened, but everything went down. It was awesome.
Is it a hack job, Bill?
I don't know. I shit my pants at least 3 times trying to get this thing back up, so it's a tough. I'm going to go home, come back. I'll see you
Couple
guys.
lunches.
Oh, Bill, you'll be all right. You didn't do it. It's
on,
not your
Bill.
fault, Bill. You can't control what YouTube is doing if they're taking everybody's live stream down, right?
Sounds like they got a black hat hacker out there who's, you know.
Oh, no.
In
Those are the
back
worst
door.
kind, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you ever, do any of you guys know how to do any of that? Any kind of coding or just like the basic hacking stuff?
No.
Somebody does back there.
I've C++ before.
Really?
Boom.
Yeah.
Is it tough to pick up even the most basic stuff?
Like a website layout.
Like to make one, are you saying?
Yeah, like you could start seeing it from other ones and you just copy and paste, but
I don't
Nothing
know.
too crazy.
I feel like it passed me by. I need to learn when I was
the
young.
hacker stuff. That's fucking insane.
Well,
I'll be honest, a lot of big time hacks happen because someone just gets fished out of their password or coughs up a password or gets tricked. Really? It's usually not some sophisticated system being cracked into. Oh, I'm digging through the firewalls currently. It's usually someone gets an email, clicks the wrong link or something, and coughs up their password to somebody they shouldn't.
They're not all like Bezos. His was sent to him, some crazy virus sent to his phone they didn't even have to open that went in and got all of his information. I think can even like get keystrokes and everything from your phone, I believe.
I mean, that's international espionage, though. We're talking about fucking Bezos here. This isn't some.
Hey, we're talking YouTube,
kid,
man.
You know?
What if someone, I don't know, Alex Jones has got stuff going on. Like, who knows what's going on here?
No, he just handed his phone over.
He did what?
He just handed his whole phone over.
Did he really?
And then they took all the stuff out of it.
I saw him pop up yesterday on my feed. Was he's testifying for one of the Is he really? Well, we know the video.
Yeah, right.
But he is testifying again for that dude can't get out of his own way. It seems like a crazy situation. But we're gonna have Pat here shortly. But I wanted to talk a little bit with you, Ty, quickly. We mentioned this earlier off air. Richard Sherman and KJ Wright. So these guys are talking. Is this Richard Sherman's podcast? I believe they were on.
Yeah.
I think they do a very good job too. We're seeing more and more athletes pop up. I love seeing these guys talk to each other. The Kelsey brothers, everyone. I know we have it. Evie has it pulled up here somewhere for us, and we can see what these guys were talking about. Pete Carroll on this podcast.
He was not held to the same accountability
talking
as
about
the rest of us. You bashing the defense. I need you to at least mention his name in the team meeting room.
But there wasn't enough years difference for the accountability thing to be like that. Well, he was young. It's like, well, he was a year younger than us. Like, he ain't that young. When you got 52 guys being held to a certain standard, you got one guy not being held to the standard, then it's going to cause some friction. After a while, it had to get to the point where he chose Russ or the defense. And after the Super Bowl loss, he kind of made it pretty clear who he was choosing. And then you hear the truth from Pete for the first time, after the game.
Coach Carroll is funny.
He is funny.
He is funny. You went 10 years keeping everything tight in the locker room. Let's keep it tight. As soon as this man leaves, you let it all air out.
Well, I guess you only protect the team when you own the team, kid.
Exactly.
There you have it. Yeah, the Richard Sherman podcast. We appreciate him and everything there. Man, he and KJ Wright, how amazing is that? I heard over the years you hear rumblings of this. Yeah, like, okay, Russ is treated a little different, which you're like, okay, most quarterbacks are. But the fact that they said he's like held to a different standard than the rest of the team, there was animosity for all these years. And did these defensive guys and everyone else think that it was just Pete and Russ versus all of us? Is that what they thought?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure part of it was even afterwards. Like, I feel like a lot of the success gets credited to Russ, even though if you watched everything in that time, like, it was the defense was incredible. And, yeah, he was good, but we've heard all this stuff before. There's like probably a decent chunk of people in his locker room that couldn't stand him, and he had the guys who he was throwing to and on offense who liked him. But I don't know, like, he ascended to the point where he almost did. He's a franchise guy. He's a quarterback. Like, he kind of ascended past what he built in Seattle. So it makes sense that a lot of these guys can't stand him.
Yeah, it's just a weird dynamic. It had to be for 10 years, and now we're finally seeing it. And I love how they said, Pete, he holds it tight for 10 years. Here we go. Keep it tight, guys. We're family, whatever. And then, boom, Russ is out of here, and now he's just like a weight lifted off him, it feels like. But we're not going to mess around with that anymore, Ty, because guess what? We have a guy down in Knoxville, Tennessee, the host of this show, the guy that built this place, the guy that did everything that we're looking at. And I roamed this place all morning. It's awesome. It's unbelievable. But we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get down to Knoxville, Tennessee. Mr. Pat McAfee. Where are you, Pat?
Yeah! Hey, good to see you boys.
You sound good, man. You sound good. We just got all, I guess the whole YouTube stream got taken down for everybody, but we're back and going, man.
Yeah,
how you doing?
For everybody. Yeah, fascinating little last couple words there, for everybody,
It wasn't just us.
You show up to Thunderdome one day, you're too damn electric, too damn fantastic. You take down all of YouTube. It is an honor to be here. We got people here. There's people here. I mean, there is.
Unfortunately, that mic's too good, though. We won't be able to hear them.
And you can't see them because they're so low.
How is Knoxville, man? Is it blazing hot?
No. It's actually pretty nice. It's like, it feels like 60, 70-ish.
Here we go.
Perfect. Nice little fall.
Beautiful.
There's a chance tonight that I'm maybe a little chilly in my tank top. I packed nothing but tank tops. Going to have to find a dress shirt, I think, before tomorrow because didn't have a clean black tank to wear with what I had to get. So I'm going to have to go shopping around town. It's a beautiful place down here, though. I mean, They can't. We're kind of posted up in a nursing hall.
Okay.
Nursing home?
Hall.
Oh, hall.
They're creating people that are saving your fucking life, AJ. So maybe you should say thank you to
Thank
the
you.
nursing halls.
Thank you to that nursing hall.
Hey, thank you to everybody out there, first responders.
Thank you, first
nurses,
responders.
for
Firefighters,
the last two
EMTs.
The last 2 years. You guys been holding it down on the fort. You've been doing a great job. But this is a beautiful campus. I think we're gonna have a great weekend here. But let's just get right to it.
Come on, what happened last night?
Well, you won 2-0. Congratulations, way to go.
That's not the story.
The story is last night is what one of the, and with this same game parlay that we've done on these Thursday Night Footballs, we've had some heartbreakers. Okay, we've had some heartbreakers. Tom Brady had rushed for like 4 yards, and his over/under on rush yards for us to hit like a plus 500 something with 20,000 people riding alongside of it was there. We had won the parlay. We had won the bet. We had gotten the monkey off of our back. We had gotten the weight off our shoulders. We had won a parlay. Then Tom took 2 consecutive knees, minus 2 yards rushing at the end of the game. Very end of the game. Everybody was taking a piss, taking a shit, already counting their money. He took 2 knees at the end, and his rush yards went under, and we lost the parlay. That was a heartbreaker. I remember the hotel I was in Anaheim, California when that happened, because I had to walk outside to go ahead and yell into my phone and let people know I wasn't happy about what happened and we should have won that. Super Bowl, Joey Burrow, like 1.5 yards rushing. If Aaron Donald pushes him forward instead of pushing him back whenever he falls at the end of the game, pushes him forward, he stumbles out. We take like $57 million from FanDuel with our same game parlay. Now, obviously, the coin toss on the Super Bowl did not start great with Billie Jean King throwing the cleanest coin toss in history where the quarter didn't even bounce. I mean, it hit the ground, stuck in there. It was like she was throwing it in the goddamn mud in SoFi Stadium, and I lost 30 grand on that. But we had our parlay almost back. Ty, you remember that?
Oh,
Ty,
yeah.
we were almost in that thing. That was like $50-some million. The people at FanDuel were sitting in a suite at SoFi Stadium, actually nervous and sweating about that thing hitting, because they're going to have to explain to Flutter why the fuck they just lost $60 million on one particular bet. It was because Joe Burrow almost hit his over for rush yards. He was 1.5 yards away. That was a heartbreaker on the biggest stage in football.
Yeah, without question. I think it was, if it would have hit, it would have been the biggest bet of all time. I mean, shit, we're talking.
The largest hit of all time.
Yeah.
It was the largest bet, I think, of all time, like in history. I don't know how it'll be worded, but at some point when sports gambling is a little bit more official, they'll look back on that bet and they'll say, holy shit, how did they have that many people doing one thing and come that close to winning, and that being, you know, a magical moment for all of us sports gamblers, and a championship moment in a champion game that we could rely on whenever times get tough in the future, but it didn't hit. So now we have really, our foundation's built on sand. Our foundation is built on heartbreak. And then on Sunday, the Super Boost hits on Sunday night. And it's like, wait a minute. I hit a plus 1,300 bet on Sunday as well. Wait a minute. My brain feels like it's better than it's ever been. It's calculating and operating at an incredible fashion. Then you get a chance to have a bet for Najee Harris to score. It's going to be a running game, even though it wasn't really. But I'm going to have a running game. Najee Harris is going to get into pay dirt. Chubb's going to get into pay dirt. And then all we need is the alternate spread of the Steelers to cover 7.5. And we had it. 9 seconds left in the damn game. Now, Corey Bajork was too damn good of a punt. And obviously, Stefanski, okay, don't be such a softy. 4.5 yard. Go for that fucking thing. Now, did he get the first down? Maybe. I mean, you tell me the angle that said he didn't. I guess the ref saw it. I must have been having my eyes close to it because I was already celebrating. I was sending text messages into the group text, and it might have been my fault, to be honest. It might have been my fault. I sent a group text. I was like, hey, boys, let's start making some gifs about us getting hot, going back to back, us doing this thing. There's only 9 seconds left. Then I see that ball get punted out of bounds at 4, and I'm like, whoa. I actually texted the group. It's going to be a stressful 9 seconds, I said. Stressful 9 seconds. And I think what Prime needs to figure out, I feel like I have pretty good internet in my house. I'm fucking paying for it at least. I don't know if it's actually good internet, but I know that I'm paying for good internet. Phil Maines, CFO Phil, saw the game before I saw it. I thought I was on top of the whole thing. All I see is 2 words in the group text from Phil. After I said, this is going to be a stressful 9 seconds, he goes, oh no. And I go, oh no, don't you? Oh no. Me, the ball hasn't even been snapped yet. And then as that thing starts unfolding, I realized quickly why CFO Phil said, oh no. That's because the worst play in the history of football happened to screw all of us.
Well,
I mean, what are we doing?
The Browns on board though, Pat. They knocked this thing forward. You would think right here that he would pull this thing in and be stopped right in the one, but he knocks it forward to make sure they get a touchdown.
Well, and that's illegal too.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
batting
the ball technically, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess you can act like, I'm
it's a
but
bat.
He clearly says get in the end zone so we can fuck over everybody that took the super boost that Pat McAfee and the boys made for Thursday Night Football on Prime. That was supposed to be plus 800 something. It was supposed to hit big for everybody. I mean, plus 800 has a 2% chance of hitting. Okay, 2% chance of hitting. And you know why that 98% chance is so much greater than the 2%? Because shit like that happens with 9 seconds left. Now, who do we blame? Do we blame the NFL as a whole because they're rigging games? Did you guys ask Rappaport about that?
Yeah.
Are they doing that or not?
Oh, yeah. He had no comment. He said, no, that's why you got to watch
Typical
the games
Corpo.
till the very end, because anything can happen. But, yeah, it was bullshit. It is rigged. There's no question. Clear bat. Should have won.
Could have been clear rigging. I mean, the internet was very quick with that, obviously. Like, hey, this could have been a rigged job. I'm happy to hear Rappaport cannot confirm nor deny whether that was the case. Let's assume the NFL can't do that and shit happens. So then we got to follow up. What else could the problem be? Well, maybe because we had that quick bite with Bear. We had Chris. Bear came on yesterday, and I love this man. Okay, I love Bear. Everybody knows I love Bear. Put that big Bear paw up. Use that big Bear brain. Let's make some great gambling picks. Let's have a great time. I love Bear. I love talking to Bear. I like being around Bear. He comes on quick bite with Bear. Love the Browns. Love. Okay, thanks, Bear. All right, we'll have to do this again next week when you're not going completely against us. But there was a bet last night in which we would have both won. Bear would have won. We would have won. And it would have hit if Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels maybe weren't always just hanging out with Jeff Bezos. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit hanging out with Bezos was the reason why that happened at the end of that game. Maybe Amazon's doing too good. And the NFL said, and the football god said, we need to make this the most electrifying finish of all time. And in doing so, we're going to screw over the thousands
and thousands
of people riding the same game parlay. So I've scratched my head a lot this morning. Okay. I've been riding through these hills of Knoxville, Tennessee, staring at the beautiful green. I mean, it's very green here. I mean, they got good sun and good rain ratio, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a beautiful day down here. Sun is shining, clear blue skies. The beautiful volunteer students are fantastic. I believe they're all skipping school right now.
Hell yeah.
Hey, is Peyton going to be the guest picker? Why wouldn't he be?
AJ, who the fuck knows? But I do know that all morning, all I've been thinking about is how did we lose that? Why did we lose that? And that is not a good omen going into the rest of the year. I was hot, plus 1,300, plus 700. This pick, I felt good. I was seeing the book differently than I'd ever seen it before. I actually felt like I was settled in. And although, Tone Diggs, congrats on, babe.
Hey, baby, Tony.
Congrats, Tone.
And Hammer Down hasn't been happening the last couple of days. It'll be back. I can't wait to watch it. I feel like I've become a better gambler this season. I was seeing things clear, and that plus 800 felt like a layup to me. And we had it, and it was ripped out of our palms, AJ. And I'm not happy about it. And I had to put a video out letting people know, like, hey, yeah, I'm not happy about this either. Then I got some asshole from the New York Post, okay, who I followed. So I guess we had done something together in the past. And his big takeaway from us getting screwed out of that bet with 9 seconds left with an annexation of Puerto Rico becoming a touchdown. Yep. His big takeaway was, you're allowed to bet $1,000 on Super Boost? How come I'm not allowed to? Hey, shut up. Okay, now's not the time to worry about the sliding scale depending upon what your gambling unit is, pal. Okay, just write your little fucking story about how bad we got screwed at the end of that game. Then I got people, obviously, that don't know us going, this guy's working for FanDuel. He knew that was going to happen. You think I know? You think there's a number in the world that FanDuel could tell me if I knew what the end of that game was going to be? Do you know how much money I would bet on that being the fucking outcome of the game? If I'm a sports almanac, like people are saying I am alongside FanDuel, you think I'm going to take any deal with any sports book? Or you think I'm going to rob them all blind? I'm going to rob them all blind. I'm trying to win just like everybody else is. FanDuel does not own this show. I am trying to take every dollar from them. So we have to dive right back into all that mess whenever something like this happens. And to be honest, we got to hit our next bet, boys. Okay? That's what we got to do because this one's going to stick with me a long time. And I think it's going to stick with all of us a long time, AJ.
Yeah, well, this has nothing to do with the rest of the season when it comes to all of these plays. So I don't think you should be worried about that. This will never happen again. This is the craziest ending. When you said like the 9 second situation, I was like, yeah, I mean, it would be crazy to think if something happened and this thing goes awry, but then it actually did happen and we were there to witness it. And at least in my eyes, I'm like, good, we're never going to see that again. I'm trying to take the positive. I'm trying to be like Jerry Jones. It will happen. Yeah. I'm trying to be like Jerry Jones here, Pat. It's all positive all the time over here.
We got to witness a spectacle. I mean, did you see how that fucking game ended? I mean, they were throwing the ball around. There was bodies on the ground. There was a ball clearly batted forward in an illegal fashion right there. Right there. Actually, I think it was pretty clean, but nonetheless, this is sports gambling. I didn't necessarily, I'm appreciative of it because I bet $1,000. And once again, the way regulated sports books are is you can only bet what your units are. And if you go outside of your units, they stop you. And if you have a boost, you can only use what your units are. You can't like take advantage of these places with it. So like, I'm happy I got my $1,000 back. I'm happy everybody that rode alongside of us got their money back in bets and everything like that. But 8-1 on everybody's money is such a fucking awesome way to go into week 3 of the NFL season. And it got taken out of our hands like this, out of our pockets like this, out of our accounts like this, AJ. And they refunded everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you to FanDuel for doing it. Very nice of FanDuel for doing it. But a follow-up, like, did not expect them to do that. I'm appreciative of them doing it. And that's sports gambling, baby. And we should have won it, AJ. We should be 2 for 2 right now on Super Boost this week.
I believe me. I agree. It was an absolute heartbreaker. It will not happen again, though. I cannot guarantee that, but I don't think it will happen again. Other than that, in the ending of the game, though, what are your thoughts on what happened the previous 3.5 quarters before that?
It was a windy ball game, wasn't it?
It looked tough to kick, didn't it?
Yeah, who do we talk? Did Bear tell us it was windy?
Yeah.
Bear in that quick bite. So I guess he did jinx us. You know, like he did certainly jinx us coming in, and he has his big brain and all that. But him giving that little piece of advice there, information on the windy, I mean, it didn't pay off because the over ended up hitting, and I think that was the big thing. There was a lot bigger plays than I thought were going to happen. That George Pickens catch, dude, that's legendary. That is legendary. That's going to be a poster. That's going to be in his house. That's going to be in other people's house. That's going to be playing in the Pittsburgh Steelers halls forever. Even though it's only a regular season game and they end up losing, it's against the Cleveland Browns. It's on primetime football, and it's a give me that catch that I don't think a lot of humans on earth can do. There was a comparison to Odell Beckham Jr.'s catch. That was a touchdown, and they won that game, I believe. Nonetheless, still incredible in a game, and for a guy that said, I'm always open. And there's a fucking reason, because if you just get the ball in the vicinity, I believe, of where he is, he's going to make a play. So I think there was a lot more magic than I think any of us could have thought of on the offensive side of the ball for both teams. I think Jacoby looked great. Jacoby looked like how he looked with the Colts. Jacoby looked like how he looked like with the Colts before he got hurt against the Pittsburgh Steelers, ironically enough. He was slinging it, making the right decision. Nick Chubb's a guy. Hunt's a guy. Feels like the Browns really, that players-only meeting helped a little bit. But I think it was a much better game than any of us could have expected, and obviously it goes down to the very end. And Al Michaels, that's going to affect some of you out there.
That's right.
You know who we're talking about. Yeah, we do. We do, Al. I appreciate you, Al. I love you, Al. I think you're great at what you do, but we didn't need the little at the end there. Not Al's fault.
Didn't Miles say what fast cars and pretty women?
Right.
That's what he said they talked about in that players only meeting.
So what if they did say, we need to learn a little bit more about each other? What if they busted out a peace pipe in that thing? Actually, every time you get the peace pipe, you take 2 puffs out of it. We all know that. You say one thing about yourself, and then you pass it. What if that is what the...
I mean, honestly, that would be very valuable for a team. Like, you'd get to know your teammates very well. I think that's a great idea.
I don't know if everybody would partake, I guess, in the peace pipe activities, but we could put some like CBD in it for some people.
There you go.
And like my hobby, I like fast cars. Is that what he's talking about? Is that how that got there? Maybe.
The next guy says, I like women.
I like pretty women.
Hey, what is your hobby? I don't know about. I love you too, man. I don't know about hobbies, but I do know I love women. You know? And then just pass the peace pipe. Next guy, what do you like to do? Well, I got 14 kids. I got a farm in the off season, and I don't smoke any of this dope that you guys are smoking, but that's me or whatever. It's like, all right, thanks, Jack or whatever, or Ezekiel or whatever. And then you go to the next person. I mean, it is, who knows what it was? It seemed to work. Big time win for the Browns. Happy for them. A little piece of information that I learned this morning via DM. So, we're talking about Brownie the Elf. Brownie the Elf has become a big time character because he's now 1-1 with.
Kirk doesn't like it. Kirk hates it too.
Well, Kirk hates it because Kirk's an Ohio guy, and I think all Ohio people that I've known are like a fucking elf.
Did you hear him though? Kirk was kind of worried. He was kind of like tiptoeing to say to be honest, I don't really love it. I don't like it. Like he wasn't like jumping all in.
Kirk's new to the NFL. He doesn't week 2 doesn't need to be burning bridges with anybody. I think Kirk might not know if he was going to piss people off by saying he hated.
I understand it completely because I 100% get why he did it like that. But I think now he probably feels okay going stronger.
So I learned something though, AJ.
What?
all these Cleveland Browns fans who are very passionate, very loyal. Congrats on a big win last. I'm happy for you.
Congrats. Win. That was a big win. You're right.
With the way we set up the same game parlay, you guys still win. A lot of people were like, that's what you get for betting against the Browns. Well, doofus, I didn't bet against the Browns. Actually, I actually took the Steelers with more than a touchdown. I think I actually bet on the Browns to win. I think that was actually my pick. That's how I got 1 point out of last night's 3 bets. I went 1 and 2.
Don't
AJ
listen
goes
to them,
2 and
they're
0.
marks.
Well, no, I understand that, but these are the things you have to hear whenever you lose an anomaly situation with 9 seconds left. You got to do that whole thing. I think when we were told about Brownie the Elf, remember they were grandstanding along. This guy's back to 1942, and this was a fan vote and all that shit.
Yeah.
There was no dog option in the vote.
Unbelievable.
Do you know that? Here's what the options were.
Okay.
It was Brownie the Elf giving a fucking Heisman. It was just Brownie the Elf giving a pose, okay, like he was about to experience total euphoria, or it was the Browns helmet, or another Browns helmet.
You gotta be shitting me.
Either white writing in the end zones or yellow or orange.
Orange. Go look at the caption here. This is the vote. This was the vote.
And how do you vote? Like, how did they vote? Like, did they send emails or just
hit
like
the
an
link in our
online
bio
vote?
to vote for our field design this season?
You gotta be shitting me.
Do we know?
So there was no dog option. There was no dog option ever. Somebody sent me a DM. They're like, you guys are killing us because it was like a fan vote. And you're like, why aren't you doing the dog? Because the dog is the dog now. You guys have been to Dog Pound, OG dogs. Like, why aren't we doing dogs? Like, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
They're like, we never had the fucking that wasn't even an option. What are we talking about? So obviously Brownie the Elf giving a Heisman is better than him doing power stance, like Aaron talked about on a Sunday conversation. And it's definitely better than just a basic helmet on there. So I think the Cleveland Browns fans are like, well, we vote. We clearly picked the best option that we were given, but the Browns themselves didn't want the dog on the field. PETA needs to call Cleveland. They're trying to separate themselves from dogs. What's that all about? What's that all about, AJ? You tell me, pal.
PETA needs to get back in there and say you need the animals back in your system, right? Like they usually are saying, no, you can't do it.
I guess they're winning, so.
Are they? Yeah, Brownie's what? I don't know. Do you hate Brownie that much, honestly? Do you hate that elf?
It absolutely stinks.
Fucking stinks.
It's the dog pound. Are you kidding me? That dog they have, that emblem is fucking awesome. It'd look incredible on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
You're
The
right.
Elf Pound was loud, though.
Well, I do believe the Elf Pound was very much into the game. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is it an elf house?
Yeah.
Could be an elf
What do they
cottage.
live in?
Elf cottage, maybe?
Elf
They live in those little
Shire.
things, right?
What the small
shoe?
the
Don't they live in
tiny
a
houses?
shoe?
The Keebler ones, they made the cookies. They were in a big tree.
Oh, those cookies are good.
Is that a Keebler elf or a Santa elf?
I think that's a Santa
Who
elf.
lives in the shoe?
David didn't know.
That's something. I don't know who that is, but that's something you guys watch as kids. Something with
You guys.
some late.
The only cartoon I saw was Doug. You know that.
You talking about Smurfs?
They live in a shoe?
I think their little village is, like a bunch of boots or little houses.
So they live in a shoe. Brownie the Elf come from a fucking shoe. They come from a tree.
Yeah,
They
where
come
did
from
he?
a cave.
Like, what's the origin story of Brownie? Do we know?
Yeah, maybe it's the Elf Cave. The Cleveland Browns Stadium is just the Elf Cave, or like I don't know what they're going to call it. Dog Pound is dead, obviously. Not even an
Clearly.
option to put it in the middle of the field. I mean, we didn't make that decision. We thought it was one of the coolest things going. I mean, they had Andrew Whitworth almost chewing a fake bone last night while he's in the middle of the Dog Pound with a Miami Dolphin fan sitting right next to him. I didn't fully comprehend how that Dolphins fan got in the middle of a Dog Pound. It takes a lot of guts to walk into the face of a Dog Pound and say, I'm wearing a team that isn't even playing tonight. Then get on Amazon Prime. Pretty fantastic stuff. But yeah, they couldn't put the dog in there because it wasn't an option. So I think we should back off the Dog Pound for putting the elf out there. But it's going to be hard for me not to think of that elf as a negative piece of shit because of what happened at the end of that game last night. Forever. And that's my own personal thing. That's my own personal thing. And I'm going to have to get over that. I'm sure Browns fans don't mind, but the Browns fans got to be happy with the performance of their team last night, AJ.
Oh, yeah, I think they are. What about the Steelers, though? We didn't really talk much about them. Do you think they're on the right track? What are they going to do?
I like that they were taking shots, right? I think we're all happy they're taking shots. That's a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more exciting brand of football, a little bit more winning brand of football. They weren't scared to death. Mitch was on the move a little bit too, had a couple good runs. We should keep an eye out for his quarterback rush yards because it sounds like Tomlin ain't thinking about making a move at all. Definitive no. Thank you for asking. And you can tell every Yinzer that too. When they come to Acrisure, they need not be singing that.
Why is that? Do you think it's because he feels like Kenny is not ready, or is it just he wants to protect him? What is it?
I don't know. We were all very excited to see how Tomlin would handle this. This is the first time Tomlin's had to handle this type of situation. A lot of other teams have had to handle this type of situation. Young quarterback drafted high, first-round draft pick. It is the program. It is the franchise. Do you put them in the water in the deep end and see how they go and let them learn as they go, like Peyton Manning did in other successful stories? Or do you have them wait and kind of learn like Aaron Rodgers did, Tom Brady did? Like there's no real right answer. So I think that's why we were all excited to watch how Tomlin did it. I think Tomlin's big thing right now is publicly he has to give a message of confidence to the entire locker room about Mitchell Trubisky being the guy. Like, I think he has to say that because he doesn't want any conversations within the locker room to start straying in the same fashion that all the Yinzers have, which is like, why not Kenny Pickett? I don't know if Matt Canada is getting cooked as much. Is Matt Canada getting cooked except for the fact that he has a terrible annexation of Puerto Rico, Nick Morado?
No, I thought he called a pretty good first half. And then we said second half, I don't know, things kind of changed up a little bit, wasn't as aggressive, but, they couldn't really run the ball that well, and they couldn't stop the run. So when you can't sustain drives, your defense is getting tired. Canada, I thought for the most part was decent last night.
I like that he just gave in to what everybody was saying, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he might have been like, you know what? Yeah, we probably should take some more shots down the field. We got to loosen this defense up.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, everybody's got a point. Yeah, I hear them. All right. Yeah, fuck. You're right. We take it none. Thank you for bringing that stat to my desk. Okay. Yinzers that have been yelling. We will start to do it because it was like a purposeful shot. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. Like, we're going to try. And I think we've talked to Aaron. I don't know if it was Aaron or some other quarterback that's been on the show, but actual strategies. We need at least one shot a quarter. Like, we need at least one shot. We need, however it gets in there. We do not care. We need to keep people honest with a shot because if you don't, everything gets real congested up at the line. I think that's what the Steelers are running into. Now, Najee Harris looks like he has some bursts and doesn't have some bursts sometimes. Yeah. Is there something going on with him? He looks different than he did last year, right? Am I wrong in thinking that?
Is it his foot? Like, I know he sprained Liz
Frank
right?
Well, and last year he was the one, there was no running back too. Last night that guy came in and had a couple explosive plays. I mean, you could see that something.
It's weird because Naj does some plays. You're right, Pat. He looks like Naj, and he finishes. He's throwing dudes at the end of plays. He's running people over. And then other plays, he looks like, maybe he's not 100%. He doesn't fully trust himself, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and that might be, and it might be good news. We might be looking at this kind of negative, like maybe the Liz Frank, what was it, sprain?
Which, I didn't know was possible. I thought it was either it's gone, surgery or not.
Yeah, I know. I don't. That's a tough, because surgery gets it fixed completely. Like a sprain, like it's like the body kind of handles it. Like the body will figure this out. Like we talked about the shoulder the other day. So maybe he's just going to get healthier.
Hopefully. That's the hope. Yeah, it doesn't just get worse and worse as the year goes. But I want to pivot quick, Pat. I texted you about a play. Minka Fitzpatrick, he tackles Nick Chubb. I think the second play of the game, whenever early in the game. We pulled it up here. Everybody's watching this. If you watch from this angle, first off, unbelievable tackle. It's you, Nick Chubb, in the open field. But you watch from the end zone. Watch this play. Minka comes down, breaks down, bong, knee to the temple. Right, not even to the front head. Go, if we run that back in, Evie, it's a great tackle. Nick Chubb.
Hey, hold on. Hey.
Yeah.
AJ.
Yes.
To your right, right now. To your right.
Yeah.
On a bar stool, right to your right.
Yeah. Oh, I can run it back.
There's that box right there. Yeah.
Oh, not that far.
Too far. Hit jog. Hit the jog button.
Jog. Boom. Yeah.
And now spin it to the right.
To the right. Oh yeah.
Spin it to the right.
Oh,
spin it. You can spin the shit out of it. No, just keep going and then you stop it.
Oh, here we go, Raj. Oh, look at this. Okay. First off, Nick Chubb trying to jump him completely, but that's a tough tackle. You take away one side, force him the other way, Minka, and then boom. Look at that. That's directly in the side of his head, the temple. I don't know how Minka wasn't out cold right there, and Minka played the rest of the game and made plays.
Yeah, and the Steelers defense could not lose Minka going forward. So obviously in the second play of the game, that'd be alarming. Minka looks to be in it with it.
Yeah, he is.
But you have to assume that this had some sort of effect on him for the next hour? Probably. I mean, you get punched in the fucking head like that.
Right there. Look at it. In his neck too. His neck can't feel great from that. Like, watch his neck crank back. Boom. And that's Nick Chubb too. That's not a 175-pounder. That's a dude that drives his knees.
Yeah, I mean, that is an incredible. He makes the tackle still. Wait, good on you, Minka. Good on you.
Yeah,
but you texted me thinking that Minka was going to be out or whatever. And I'm like,
I saw that and I was like, I don't know how this guy continues to play. And the guy continues to play and make a bunch of plays. So, I mean, credit to Minka, man. Not only good tackle, but how do you come back from that?
I think TJ Watt is a massive, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's a massive difference. I hope TJ knows it, but like here's a stat that got popped up on the screen last night. Since 2017, TJ Watt, right, with him on the field, 52, 24, and 2. Without him, 0 and 5, dude. Sacks per game go from 3.5 to 1.6. It's like the reason is, and although Highsmith, I think he's at 4.5 sacks now on the season, is leading the team, maybe 5. I don't know if he stole one late or whatever. Like he's going to have to deal with what TJ got.
Yep.
Yeah.
And normally, if TJ's there, he gets to deal with what, somebody who's not a dude gets. It's like just strictly because of numbers. Like strictly because of numbers, the defensive player of the year is going to eat up a lot of people. And we learned that in the trenches with AQ Shipley. So Highsmith, like when TJ comes back, Highsmith's only going to get better, I think, let alone the rest of the defense. Cam Hayward's able to eat a little bit. Alualu is able to eat a little bit more. And then on the back end, whenever they're free up, they get more pressure, get more time. It's just like everything goes off of can you get to the quarterback? And they were able to get to the quarterback. The standard is the standard in Pittsburgh. But without TJ Watt, I think it is a much different team. And the stats say it. I think last night you could see it. And Jacoby had a lot more success than I think any of us could have fathomed he was going to have against that Steelers defense. And we have to remember Jacoby, good player, good football player out there.
He is. I think people will have such elevated standards for what they think an NFL quarterback should be. They think every quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and that's what it looks like. I'm like, no, that's not. Those guys are like they're the outliers. They're unbelievable. Like there's not a whole lot of guys that can do that.
AJ.
Yeah.
People you just said are all Super Bowl champs. You had Matthew Stafford in there. Can you win without one of those guys? Here, answer that question, AJ. Sports media. Do you need one of those guys? Is that why fans act the way they act and have the standard that they have? Is the immediate question, can this guy win a Super Bowl? I think so. And the recent history with the most modern style of football has shown us that you need a
guy. You need an elite level quarterback. I don't. It's possible without it, but it's possible you can have a guy that is maybe good, not great, but he has to play great the last month and a half of the season. He really does.
Well, he has to get hot.
Yeah.
I think that's for every team has to get hot. But I think you also need the Hunt Chubb.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's a huge part of it.
Jacoby's an NFL quarterback, okay? Jacoby's better at football than I am. If he was to show up at your fucking pickup football game, he would throw for 45,000 yards if you had anybody in your friend group that could catch. Okay, that would happen. He would run people over. A lot of quarterback sneaks and dives. He did that with the Colts too. It seems like he's very comfortable with that. He's like, who is it? Tom Brady's like undefeated at those things. Did you see that one he cut to the left?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
he cut one to the left. He could have scored a touchdown almost. I think it might have been Minka that came up and got him actually. But I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I think he is a very good quarterback. I got to see it as well.
Yeah.
If you're a very good quarterback, not like, superhuman quarterback, I think you have to have that backfield. And maybe a run game will win a Super Bowl again soon, but feels like with all the rules and with the way things are going, with how tight ends rules have been open and with
Not
the tight
strictly.
ends are becoming.
I don't think you win a Super Bowl just running. Like
I think so.
If running is your primary deal. No, if you run the ball and it supplements the pass and you run the ball well and you stay with it and you consistently try to run it, yeah, you can win, but it can't be your bread and butter, I don't think. I don't think you're going to make the run.
You look at
I think so too.
They could run, but then Njoku and Amari Cooper, like they had several explosive plays. I think people roll their eyes when they hear Jacoby can, make every throw on the field. But last night, like he was airing it out.
Yeah.
I mean, if their run game goes like that and those guys on the outside have, 80, 90-yard games, like they can beat a lot of teams.
And with the run game, and I think this is what I started my point to, didn't get there. But with that run game, if you're a very good quarterback, it's a little light on the back end. It's a little light on the back end.
Yeah.
So then it's one-on-ones for Amari Cooper. It's, like Njoku is going to get some space, even though they didn't target him. And Chuck Pagano yesterday said, probably going to target this guy.
Yeah.
Probably going to target. And they did early. It was a real shame that me and Connor's plus 20,000er didn't hit.
I know.
That was a bummer.
That one would have been fun to watch the reaction, I think.
Yeah, I mean the reaction to this one. See, it's got 1,000K fucking views.
Hey Pat, you saw that you were mentioning like the run game,
dude.
how the run game will the run game helps with the pass game. I don't know if you saw this clip. We're gonna pull it up here. I like that I can use this little wheel here.
My misery.
Watch this though. Watch this play. This play fake by Jacoby. If you watch the top of your screen, you see Minka Fitzpatrick is the deepest guy on the Steelers defense. If you went there, and
in between number and hash.
Yeah, I'm gonna run this thing by here if I can do that, guys. I got the jog button pressed. Can I run this? Yeah.
Yeah, just spin it
I'm
to the
spinning
right.
it. I'm spinning. Watch Minka fly down at this play fake. It's a pretty good play fake. Not amazing, but pretty good. Offensive lineman's not downfield, but they're showing that they're blocking. Minka's coming down. Minka looks like he's the whole player here. Like he's going to try to cut any crossers, or you usually don't cut verticals, but safeties. Well, watch Minka bites down. Oh, no, it's not a run. I got to turn.
No.
Look at him. He's got to turn around. We'll watch from the end zone. And Amari runs just a beautiful route, which I want to watch from the end zone view. That's why I'm going to fast forward this sucker.
Hey, hold on. That's Hasselbeck talking about those cross routes that are impossible to guard. Impossible.
Yeah,
it's just like unfair almost.
Yeah, there's like deep overs. Watch Minka Fitzpatrick, number 39 there on the right side of your screen. You see this. Okay, if you look at the O-lineman, that's usually how you can tell if it's run or pass. You'll hear sometimes coaches say elephants on parade. If a bunch of O-linemen start getting a run together, like, when they walk elephants at the circus and they tie them together, they'll say elephants on parade if they're all going. Like, they'll take 2 or 3 super hard steps to the right or left to try to get you to think it's run when it's really boot or pass.
Or you could listen to Russell on the sideline.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, yeah, pass ball or a run ball, fly, air, fumble. Did the coaches also say the big fat elephants on parade, or
Never.
do you think elephants was just because, not because they're big bodies, but just because of how they act at the parade?
How they would string them, they would tie them together basically, and hey, just follow the leader, go next to them. So yes, it had nothing to do with their weight. No.
I thought you guys are body shaming them a little bit, but I think this was incredible work by you to play this and have this, because I literally this is really good what we just did here.
Yeah, well, I want to show you what's really good about this. Watch, I'm gonna spin this little wheel and run it. So
this is fucking great.
But look at this. Okay, look at the left guard here. You could hopefully get a read on him that this isn't. You tell me if you think it's run or pass, because you can see on your screen the
well,
left.
I like to see the whites on their knuckles. You know what I mean? I
So
like to see if it's
what you don't see actually, that left guard. Look, he's barely in his 3-point. He has no weight on that stance. All right, on his stance. Here we go. He comes out.
You look at that? Do you look at the weight on the stance or no?
Absolutely, you're right. If they weren't wearing gloves, you want to see, is his hand jammed in the ground? Does he look like he's coming? If he's loose like that, either it's a pass or this guy might be pulling or trying to get in the perimeter. You take a look.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now watch. You watch him. He doesn't take even a step out. He's firing. He's shuffle sideways. Right there, you're hoping, okay, I can see it should be pass. No one's coming downfield. But I think now, though, with the RPO game, it screws everybody up. I don't know how you ever know run or pass, because linemen are always downfield, and every play these RPOs are killing it. But watch this route by Jacoby. So Minka Fitzpatrick's like, all right, here we go. Fake. Oh, no. I'm already inside this guy who I'm
shit.
I'm trying to cut and probably double team Amari Cooper here. Let's try to turn. Let's try to speed turn, get back. Okay, Amari Cooper right here. You see Amari Cooper, Pat?
He stacks Minka.
He's not Minka. It's the corner, I believe, here. But
no,
watch.
He stacked Minka, got on top of Minka.
Oh,
here,
yeah. But he's directly behind this DB. But the DB, when he turns his head, you'll see Amari gives him this nice little shake to the sideline and then breaks it back across the field. Boom. See it? The DB has his back completely turned. His head is turned around. He's peeking over his left shoulder, and Amari's like, nope, I'm going this way, bud. I already got 2 steps on you here. And then Jacoby throws a nice ball that he can go out and get. And here we go.
That's why the run game is so important, man. That is why the run game is so important.
When was this play?
It's not just because you can gain rushing yards, and it's not just because 4-minute offense you can kind of, run a game out and kill a team or whatever. It's because every single play, right, the defense has to be scared to death of it, and it affects formations, it affects reaction time, it affects everything, right? I mean, that's a huge part of the run game. That's why Tom Brady loves the run game. Tom Brady is always going to have a good run game. And when they don't have a good run game, normally Tom Brady's offense isn't good. I mean, that is just kind of how it is. Aaron Rodgers, same thing. Yeah. Aaron doesn't put up fucking 600 yards a game. He puts up 210 because every ball is efficient. Yeah. Every ball moves, and they normally have a pretty good little action in there, or try to. It's the run game matters, dude. And I think that's a beautiful depiction of it, AJ. We're lucky to have the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers to just pull that up and be able to spin a wheel on slow motion. Explain that. Thank you for that, AJ. We got smarter there.
I tell you what, I enjoyed this little wheel thing. I'm glad. I'll definitely explore that as I come in here on Fridays and we do that. But that play was the first play of the fourth quarter, Pat. So obviously that was set up through all the runs earlier in the game.
And it was 3rd and 1.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? How was Minka not at the line of scrimmage? I give Minka credit for even being as deep as he was.
That's that Ivy League son of a bitch, isn't it?
It's a shame, isn't it? But that's what happens though, because if you're Minka, if you're a linebacker, it's 3rd and 1. You're like, all right. Yeah, I know I'm not 100% sure, but I need to sell out on run, because if I'm soft on the run, this dude just falls forward for 4 yards and I look like an idiot. So that's what, it's exactly right. That's what happens. They set it up, they pound you. Oh no, I'm turning, I'm running, and I'm gassed at the same time. I got to find a way, and it's a huge play for the Browns.
That's why it's a huge deal for a lot of teams. And we left Derrick Henry off the list there last time, but that's the greatest example of it because Vrabel stays committed to it because I think Vrabel understands it the most. That's why it's so like important for teams to be around in the lead or around, because if the other team starts pulling away, you have to get away from that. And then you lose all the benefit of your biggest weapon, which is not only the yards on the ground, but also the defense having to respect and honor the run, right? Like that's and that's why when teams get down and they're like, they're not built to come back. This team is not built to come back. I think that's normally what they mean. Like this team, if another team is going to drop back into coverage and it's a known passing time, this quarterback probably not going to be able to,
you're right.
Probably
There's no
not gonna
space.
be
Think how compressed
yeah.
it is. They always talk about when you get down the red zone, all right, for a quarterback, or the defense, you like that because I can use the end line as another defender all the way back there, and they're so compressed. I know they can't run by me. It's the same thing. Like if you can't get good play action, you're not going to create any of that space, especially in the middle of the field, if you don't get anyone to bite up. I mentioned it on here during camp when offenses get pissed all the time at the start of training camp when you're not wearing pads because you're not going to bite on many run fakes. Like nobody's biting on run fakes. Aaron used to get so pissed at us the first couple of days. I'm like, all right, yeah,
you're not
going
to be there, bro. You're not going to be there.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right?
In the middle, he'll be in a drop. He'll want to throw a pump. He'll start yelling in the middle of the play as he's scrambling at everyone.
You're not going to be there. You're not going to be. Yeah,
He's
I've
right.
heard it. I've heard
He's
it
right
happen.
too, though. You know they're right. Like, yeah, you're right, bud. But today I am here. Right now, in this moment, I am here. That's my truth right now.
Hey, you guys get me all season with this. All right, you guys get me all season for these couple of days. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my time to win here. But that's that next level of football IQ stuff that's happening in the NFL that I assume is happening other places. Everybody talks about how important the play action is and everything like that. But it's like these are
you got to see it
full on.
That's a great idea. Like you need to see it. At least I'm a visual learner. I need to see why and how something works. But Pat, you want to pick our games? You know we got to do our matchups still. I know you got to jump off here at the end of this hour.
Hell yeah, and I did my normal sit down with Bear because he was the reasoning for.
It's not even fair though.
Well, I can't agree with him. So, I mean, like last night happened.
True.
Like, normally that's how me and Bear are, by the way, and I'm learning a lot more about me than I am about Bear. you know, like Bear is a very successful known gambler. Okay?
Sure.
And it's almost every single game where I can pick what he's going to go with because it is certainly the one that I'm not, you know? So like that, I think I've become a better gambler because I'm getting to like chat with him on why he feels that way. Because I don't think he's doing it just to do it. Like he's not doing it just because like he's not betting a pass line at the or the no pass line, whichever one is the one you're betting with the house at craps or whatever. He's not betting with the house just to bet with the house. Like, oh, money's here, he's going this way. Like that's not what his strategy is. He actually does like feel that way. Like his natural feeling is normally the opposite of what everybody else is feeling because he's been gambling for so damn long. Like that's just his thing. He's been successful for a long time because normally when you're opposite of the public, you're probably going to win, you know, more often than not. So my conversations with him have been fucking really cool. Like, why do you think that? In a couple of the games, he did change my mind on it. So maybe it is a little bit unfair, but you have nothing to complain about.
Oh, I'm not.
You're doing better than Bear and everybody right now.
No,
you are maybe
1 week.
the hottest public gambler on your last 18. You're fucking 12-6 or something like
Pretty
that.
good.
Was that what I was last week? Or no, I'm 2-0 this week. You counted this week.
Your last 19. You're 13-6 or whatever. So like, dude,
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens this week.
I have to catch up to you, bro.
What about is Bear able to take all emotion out of his bets?
Yeah, it's strictly business.
See, I struggle with that because I can't root for a team to win that I don't want to win, even if I think they will win.
So I think you're kind of once sports gambling gets legalized in
I'm
Ohio,
a gambling mark, is what they would say.
You are a mark.
No, because I think what you'll experience, because I think I felt this way too. Like I want to bet on the team that I'm cheering for.
Yes.
I think the more you gamble, and once it's in Ohio, starting January 1st, welcome to the party.
Sir.
Can't wait for you guys to join us, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. But like, as soon as you start feeling like, you know what, I can't bet on that team because if they win, I win money. And if my team, like, you'll get to that point, I think. Like,
Yeah,
I think
it's a
you'll get to the
win-win.
point.
It's basically a win-win for me.
Yeah, because Connor does it every once in a while, except for with the Patriots. If it's another team that he really likes, he'll bet on the other one. I think a lot of people do it. And when I first heard it, I was like, I'm never, shut up. Okay. I'm not doing that. It's like, because if everything goes right, I'm losing money. Why would I want to?
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that? If everything goes right, why would I want to lose money? I would like to have a good time. That's why they won. That's why I'm pulling for this team. But now I got to deal with losing money too. And then you kind of get to a point where it's like, you know what? I'll take the happiness from the win of the game over the thing. Not every time. I'll bet with the Colts a lot. I ride with the Colts a lot, way more than I should. So I'm kind of being a hypocrite when I'm saying this, but there's numerous games where I will put some money on the other team, and then I kind of like have a hedge with myself almost, you know, AJ?
Yeah, I get it. I think it's going to be fun. That's why I can't wait for January 1st to roll around when FanDuel is legal in Ohio. But, Evie, can you pop these games up? All right, Pat, I don't know if you can see them on your screen. What kind of screen are you looking at? Like, what are you on here?
So there's a Samsung TV right next to a massive, like there's a very nice Sony camera here. I don't know the name of it. It is not one of the big box ones. It's more like, it looks like it's this one,
shoulder cam,
but it's on a tripod though. So it looks to be, I mean, how's the shot? It feels like this
looks
thing
great.
should have a fucking
Looks
great
awesome.
shot.
Yeah, looks
like you're in college game day.
Yeah, it's very nice. These ESPN folks are have been way too kind to me in the tech department. But yeah, camera here, very nice. One microphone, same microphone as last week. Can't hear anybody out here, right?
So nice. No.
And then I got a TV right here. It's perfect. It's a dream. The weather's perfect. It's not too hot. There's it's glorious. It's amazing. Let's dive into it. I like the Ravens.
You like the Ravens at what? They're 2.5-point favorites going in playing the Patriots?
Yeah, I do. And I think this is one of those ones where me and Bear talked about because I'm kind of torn on this. Everybody knows I'm a big Belichick guy. Massive.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm a big Belichick guy.
Who isn't?
I'm a, hey, Belichick will figure it out. And then taking into these picks, though, because the last 2 weeks have not gone, necessarily fantastic in the overall 50-50, then a loss. And so I got to start thinking with my brain on my heart, just like we just talked about.
Okay.
I feel like Lamar Jackson right now, okay, is going to do it. Now, the Ravens defense is going to potentially get cooked by Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, and all the brains over there because of what they did. And what actually give me the Patriots plus 2.5. Give me the Patriots.
That's perfect.
I just remembered Darius Butler's breakdown of the coverage, not knowing what it was. Yeah. I'm going fresh off this conversation with Bear while I was kind of torn. I'm taking the Patriots plus 2.5 at home. Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, never a doubt. This is what I thought the entire time, AJ.
Okay,
this is what I thought the entire time.
We love to see your brain work in real time. I'm going to go Ravens minus 2.5 against the Patriots. Next one, here we go, Pat. We have.
Whoa.
What, you don't want it? You got to stay with your pick. I mean, you changed we watched your brain flip-flop in real time on live.
I saw all those guys grasping at nothing. One was literally.
Yeah, they'll clean it up.
Chuck Pagano has been coaching secondary 45 years or something like that. 40 some years, something like that. DB, Darius Butler played 9 years in the NFL. Antoine Bethea played 14 years in the NFL. Branch, I think, had 10 years in the NFL. None of them knew what they were attempting to do in that secondary, okay? I don't know if 7 days is enough. Is 7 days enough?
We're going to simplify it, Pat. We're going to simplify it on the back end so there's no questions.
All right.
You got a drone? Is that a drone behind you?
I mean, probably, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Or is that a sky cam?
Over your other shoulder.
It kind of went behind the tree.
It's gone by like 3 times. It's their sky cam.
Wait, it's on wires? It's their sky cam?
Yeah.
Wait, you have a sky cam over the crowd. Okay.
AJ Hawk can't drive. There's a sign back here that says AJ Hawk can't drive. That pink one right there says AJ Hawk can't drive. I don't know.
I tell you what, I love people. People are so awesome.
And then the guy in the green hoodie right next to him says legalize 2-footed driving. I don't think it's illegal, but it should be, kid. All right, go back to fucking class.
Amazing. I love these people. That's awesome. Good for them. Thank you.
There's a sign down here that says Pat McAfee Show wins more than Anthony Richardson. I think that was a compliment to all the boys. I believe there's some names on the bottom of them. They got signs out of this motherfucker.
That's pretty awesome.
This is wild. Is this going to start happening? Vols tame more Gators than Steve Irwin. Oh, rest in peace. Not a bad sign.
Wow.
Not a bad sign here. Not a bad sign
kids
there.
are carrying
And then
it.
for the brand classic right up front, I appreciate the hell out of them. I mean, this is
That's awesome.
This is a wild
sweet.
scene here. We should almost get rid of this curtain next week going forward. We'll think about this going forward.
Okay.
Good people out here, though. But it's a magical thing. Okay, so you're going with Ravens. You love it?
I love Ravens at minus 2.5. Yes. Are you kidding me with Lamar? And I love Bill Belichick and what they're doing, too. I just think Lamar's too much.
All right, I'll take the Patriots plus 2.5.
Good. All right, Bills traveling to Miami, and the Bills are 5.5-point favorites in Miami. What do we do here?
So, Love, this feels like they want you to bet the Bills, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Bills have slaughtered everybody.
Yep.
They've killed everybody. They want you to do it. I talked about it earlier. The reason why I am who I am is because I'm a guy that will buy into the hype. Von Miller is about to be on every single week. Okay. Did you hear what he said about Top Gun Maverick being the metaphor that he chose
Incredible.
to describe that Buffalo Bills team right now? We're trying to find Mach fucking 11 right now, dude. Okay. We're nowhere near done is basically what Vaughn said about the Bills. Give me the Bills -5.5, even though I love the Dolphins and what they're cooking. It's going to be fins and down. Bills Mafia up, pal.
I have to go with you here, man. I would like to pick the Dolphins here, but I think 5.5 is tough for me. I think the Dolphins either lose by more than 5.5 or they win the game. I think it's one of those. So I'm going Bills here -5.5 for sure.
Bills are approaching territory where you just cannot bet against them.
Until it gets to be like 17-point spreads and stuff like that, you think?
They're so
What if they do get college spread? What if they start getting college? This is one of those like potential freezing cold takes. But what if it gets to college spreads for this fucking Bills team? Like, what? Yeah. We're going into week 3. This is an overreaction. Sorry, that's what we do. Sorry about it. Like, what if they do become a team that just power bombs everybody? Would be.
They're on their
awesome.
path. They're on the way right now. What about Saints? Saints Panthers here. So Saints are 2.5-point favorites. They're traveling to Carolina. Christian McCaffrey's playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my biggest issue is Carolina Panthers give away every play. Okay.
I don't know
they
if that's,
give away.
I don't know if that's 100%, Pat.
What? No, I heard it. It was a matter of fact. It was stated as a matter of fact. I heard it. You heard it. There was no cherry picking. We're not cherry picking. I was told by a friend of this program that was a matter of fact. Christian McCaffrey, 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield. This is coaching malpractice. It's a run. RPO. Okay. If he's next to him, it's a pass. I'm not cherry picking plays. This is a matter. He delivered that as a matter of fact. And the Carolina Panthers fans who are so done with rule shit. I mean, I mentioned it last week. We were in North Carolina, up in Boone, and I said Matt Rule might go to Nebraska. They cheered because they're Panthers fans. They cheered because they were happy to hear that he was potentially leaving. So Dan was basically throwing gas on fire, man.
Yep,
that is basically what he was doing, as a matter of fact. And as soon as I seen it, I'm like, damn, if Dan's right, like, that's a great catch. That's really good work. Congrats to Dan. And then I immediately thought they're going to hear this, and I assume they're going to respond. And they have. I don't know if it's their accounts are putting out show or plays that are like obviously hypocritical and counter to what Dan Orlovsky was saying. But those started leaking out there that Matt Rule said, if they knew we were running ball, how we rushed for 136, fucking Dan. Huh? Dan, why don't you put the suit on? Shut up. So I assume Dan's eating it right now, getting it on the shins from a lot of different places. But Carolina Panthers are an interesting story, no matter what you say. And for that reason alone, because I don't know about the Saints at all, I'm going to take the Panthers plus 2.5. The whole world hates them. Maybe that's a rally cry for them all. AJ.
Okay.
Whole world hates them. Baker, maybe last chance. Matt Rule, maybe last chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole world hates them.
I wanted to take I thought about taking the Panthers here. You taking the Panthers really surprised me. I did not think you would do that, especially with the Saints defense. But I'm going to ride with you here and take the Panthers as well. I really am.
Okay.
I almost just flipped it because I didn't want to agree with you, but I don't know. I feel like something's up. I think the Panthers are going to find a way maybe. So
you're sniffing out some shit.
I'm hoping. I'm sure hoping so. But what about this game? This is the game I thought you'd be excited about. Kansas City Chiefs traveling to right here, Indianapolis, Indiana, 5.5-point favorites over the Colts. I assume you're a little surprised this isn't bigger, right?
Connor said some egregious stuff yesterday, and Ty agreed. Ty co-signed, and that was kind of stinking rude, if I had to guess. Pretty stinking rude.
Freaking idiot.
I don't know if you saw. There's an air conditioner right here that I'm currently deflecting right into my my body.
Yeah, watch the urine.
Starting to heat. The sun's starting to become pretty real. There was a tweet yesterday by Jim Irsay. It said, "Don't know if you've seen it, brother." Basically, is what he said. It was the injury report from practice.
Yeah.
Shaq Leonard, full participant the last 3 days.
Yes.
DeForest Buckner, full participant last 3 days.
Right.
Michael Pittman, full participant in practice. Jim Irsay quote tweeted that with a purpose saying, hey, team.
Here we
go. A barn of Colts fans. We're back. And after a 24-0 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, you would assume that the Kansas City Chiefs would be favored by 14.
Yeah.
Maybe 20.
You were talking college spreads. I was like, if there's ever a game,
30.
this is it, right? But you tell me Shaq Leonard is back, I'm good.
24-0, 1 week removed to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh.
if you listen to what Jim Irsay's tweeting and you kind of crack his code of what he's saying, this should be a 1 to 2 point spread. 5.5 is way too many. Give me the Indianapolis Colts, who are all the way back. Okay. Matt Ryan's about to showcase that he's an astronaut, that he's a Navy SEAL, and we're about to do this thing. I got the Colts plus 5.5. I'll be in the building. Let's go ahead and try to look like a football team. And I still think Chiefs win, but let's make it a game, AJ. Let's make it a game.
Yeah, let's make it a game. 5.5. I thought at least maybe a touchdown. Like that would make it different. I feel like, but I'm going. Obviously, I'm going Kansas City here. I understand your ties. I get it. I think the Colts would understand. If you did not go with him, but I get it. You're going to be there. You can. I feel like if you're present, at least myself, I feel like I can control some of the game. If I really want a team to win, I can will them to win if I'm there. But I'm not going to be there, so I'm going Chiefs here.
So Pat,
I paid a lot of money. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if those guys are back and they do get not necessarily blown out, but they get the brakes just blasted, is it full panic mode?
We hit full panic mode last Sunday.
Yeah.
About halftime.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
About halftime. About halftime was full panic mode. Like coming out of half, maybe. Like, hey, maybe we're out of halftime speech. We're going to give it a stinking good one. We're going to go for. I think there was full panic very early that, oh no, we got rid of Carson Wentz and we're paying more money and teams looking less ready to play football in the men's league. There's a lot of that because week one, then the first half, then the second half came. And then you have to start cooking up concepts of why you shouldn't hit full panic mode. And once you start doing that, guess what, Ty?
You're in full panic mode.
Yeah. So I think we've already hit it, but I am still at the level of full panic mode to be able to cook up a mindset. That's like, we can still win a game. Now, if we do get absolutely, which is, Travis Kelce has a new podcast with his brother, and it's awesome.
Yes, it is.
And Travis Kelce also awesome at football. Patrick Mahomes fucking unbelievable at football. We actually cut a promo after week one that was basically on Overreaction Monday. Like, hey, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. Like, we need to remember that. So that's a little bit of a glaring issue that we could be staring down another massive loss, but we're going to win because I paid so much money for seats that I can basically break up a fucking pass, AJ.
I know you're right.
You hear me?
You better get on camera, man.
Oh, they will probably.
What if Kelce scores and gives you the ball? Are you going to throw it back?
No. This is not Rookie of the Year, pal. Okay. I get that home run ball. I'm hanging on to it. I am. Thank you, Travis. Probably full dap up. Appreciate you, man. This is going to go up in the new studio. We need a lot of decorations. AJ, you've seen how empty all those walls are. Yes. So I would be very thankful for that. Hey, Travis, if you're watching, would love a dap up football in the end zone. But I do hope the Colts cover 5.5, pal.
Yeah, before we get to the Lions Vikings, I would imagine Bills fans, they should send in some paraphernalia to the office here that we could put up on the walls maybe in the future, right? Oh, any team, really.
I don't know if we want.
You don't be hauling a couple dildos out here.
150 dildos.
You don't want a dildo wall. You could have a dildo wall.
We had to go to a council meeting to get the property you're on rezoned. Okay. I had to represent our company in a council meeting against the neighbors and the citizens.
Yes.
That's right.
Could you imagine what Smothers would think? The man who cut a promo against me and then came back. I object, by the way, to this notion. He's been holding down the fort in that neighborhood, which we are very thankful to be in for a long, long time. Also my neighborhood, so like, True. I'm happy that we got those types of guys in the neighborhood. Okay. I'm happy that's like, we must protect this house. I'm happy we got that. Okay. I'm happy we got that in there. With that being said, if he finds out there's 400 to 500 dildos getting tossed out of that place,
Not good.
He might go into full heart attack and cardiac arrest. You hear me?
You're right.
So maybe not the dildos, but we do need stuff. We need paintings, I think. We need artifacts.
Cool graffiti art you could have people do. Yeah, opportunities are endless. Zeet mentioned some vinyl wraps because then you're not stuck on it. Like in 3 years, if you want to change it, you can change it.
We had a company hit us up to do that too. Like there's been a lot of people like offering their services, but I have no idea what the fuck we want, dude. Yeah. You kind of are, I guess. You and your wife kind of designers.
I'm not. She is, but yeah, that's a different world. Yeah, you have to see it. You got all kinds.
Could you imagine?
The opportunities are endless, man. You can do whatever you want.
Bro, we picked something terrible though.
Yeah.
Putting it in is going to take 4 to 5 days of random motherfuckers in the building, and I hate that. Hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it so much. I've learned that about me.
Could you ask them to come at night? Like honestly, when you're not here.
Yeah, and we're paying a lot more money for people to do that because I do feel bad that they have to do that because I understand that's not like fair to them. So we're paying a lot more money, I believe. Yeah. But also, like, I fucking hate it. Like, I I like being around like our people. I like doing our thing. And if we get something in there, it'll be a 4 to 5 day thing. And the asks will be hilarious, what we'll have to provide.
Yep.
And then what if we hate it?
Yeah.
So now we got to have somebody come in and take it down. That's another day or two of people in there. It's like when we make the decisions, we got to make them right. And I think that needs to be out of my hands probably. I'm going to be delegating that move, AJ, to somebody else to make those decisions.
Okay. Well, hey, the good thing is we have tons of space. You can't go wrong. It's whatever you guys want.
So much space.
What about Lions Vikings here, Pat? Lions traveling to Minnesota. The Lions are 5.5-point dogs coming after a big victory. Evie, what's going on here? What's going to happen?
Well, I'll tell you what about last year. Both these games came down to the last play. Vikings won one on a field goal. Lions won one on a touchdown. Also, at this point, the Lions remain covering machine, so I don't know how you don't just ride with the Lions until they prove us otherwise.
Yeah, give me the Lions. Foxy sold me plus 5.5. The Vikings, this might be an overreaction, but I overreacted to them week 1, and that got me week 2. So now I'm overreacting back the other way. Give me the Lions, AJ.
You know what? I have the exact same thought process when it comes to the Lions as you and the Vikings. So I will take the Lions at plus 5.5 here, and we'll move on to Philly is traveling to Washington, and Philly is 6.5-point favorites against the Commanders and Carson Wentz. What do you do here, Pat?
I appreciate the fact that Michael Lombardi calls them the Commodores. Not a bad name.
He's awesome.
Bear told me that. Bear told me, he said, Lombo. And then he told me, he said, Lombo just called the Commanders the Commodores. So I was like, yes, you should hear him try to pronounce people's names on our show. Like he is a real gem. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep, I'm going Eagles here too.
Perfect. Good. I like the Eagles.
Minus 6.5. Big old spread. But all right, Raiders are traveling to Tennessee now. Tennessee's trying to get the first win of the season. The Raiders too, I guess. Right? We got a couple defeated teams playing each other. Raiders are 1.5-point favorites, in Tennessee. That's a bit surprising. What are you going to do here?
I don't know if Nashville is going to be a home field advantage or not for the Titans right now with how potential down they are. Give me the Raiders, bro. Give me the Raiders.
Oh gosh, I don't like to pick against Braves, but I do like.
Me neither.
I think the Raiders find a way. I really do here. Man.
Braves, no offense.
He knows. He'll never see it. Braves doesn't like. He would be mad if someone showed him this clip. Anyway, why you show me this? Like, why this doesn't matter to my life? What are you doing?
Does this affect me at all? No. Does this help me beat the Raiders? No. Get it out of my fucking face.
Yes, exactly.
What a hilarious guy.
He's the man. All right, Texans traveling to Zeet's hometown. Chicago Bears. The Texans are 2.5-point dogs. That's a bit surprising. What? I don't know where I'm going to pick here. What are you going, Pat?
Houston, Chicago has a problem. Give me the Houston Texans and Dougie Davis Mills. A lot of these teams for me, like, hey, you're going to have to prove it for me. And the Houston Texans somehow have, because they've been very competitive in games that we never would have expected. And that's great whenever you're getting points on the road. I like the Texans right here, AJ.
Also, Lovie Smith redemption game. So.
Oh, I forgot. Lovie's coming back. He's on the opposite sideline. I'm Texans all the way.
We should super boost that.
We should. The Texans, I think, have a great chance to win this game, even though they're 2.5-point dogs. But all right, let's move on. Bengals at Jets. I will be live in the stadium here for this game, honoring Nick Mangold going in the Ring of Honor there. Congratulations to Nick for the New York Jets. It's a big day for him. I'm excited to see him, see Joe Burrow in person. Bengals are 6-point favorites against the Jets here. I like the Bengals here. I'm going to jump off and go first, even though I'm going to be in Nick's suite at his thing for his jersey deal. I think he would understand. I'm taking the Bengals here.
Give me the Jets. I'll take the Jets off of what they did last week. Feels like vibes are high with old footsteps, Flacco. Hope Connor's having a great time. Every time I say that, I think of him. I like the Jets. I don't know if the Bengals have it figured out, and if they do, it'll be a close game. It feels like that's how the Bengals are going to play for a bit.
Okay, here we go. A couple more quick to go. We have Jags are traveling to play the Chargers here, and the Jags are 7-point underdogs against the Chargers. Justin Herbert seems like he's going, right?
Yeah.
Most likely going to play. We just don't know how great he will feel. Where are you going here?
Eckler unfollowed me, by the way. I think it's probably because we brought up what he
did. No.
Yeah. He
must have been the algorithm.
What the hell's that about?
We're pumping
I think it's because we spotlighted his Twitch a little bit where he was saying,
Well, he wants more followers on Twitch, right?
He has a great Twitch. Seems like Herbert's going. I don't know. Keenan Allen probably.
Sorry for the plug, pal.
Yeah.
We're just trying to put you over a little bit. And whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. I think I like the Chargers, though, just because of that reason. Too many question marks. Obviously, a little bit of drama there. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here as well. And then we have the Falcons traveling to Seattle.
Give me the Jags +7, actually.
There we go. Okay, I'll stay with my Chargers pick at -7. That could be a good one there. I'm excited to watch that one. Falcons at Seattle here. Falcons are 1-point dogs. Okay, there we go. What do you think here? It's a toss. This is what they call a classic toss-up.
Give me the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm taking the Falcons. I think they find a way. Artie Smith and the boys find a way to get this thing done. What games do we have left now?
Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And then Chargers. Those are all Sunday. That's the
Rams,
late window game.
Cardinals.
No, the only one
49ers, Broncos.
Cowboys, Giants is the only one you won't pick.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Packers at Tampa Bay. Packers are 1.5-point dogs.
Give me Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I know Tom is got the boys flying. Lenny Fournette is a weapon. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Seems like he took an ayahuasca trip to finding out how to play football again with those Packers last week. It feels like they all did. Give me the Packers.
Yep. I'm taking Packers here as well. And then we have L.A. Rams traveling to Arizona here. Rams 3.5-point favorites at Arizona. Arizona coming off a unbelievable, crazy victory last week. What are you doing here, Pat?
So this is one I thought would be bigger, right? Didn't we all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, give me the Cardinals.
Okay. Plus 3.5. All right, I'll take the Rams. Or I'll get the Rams here.
Duty out?
Cliff, yes, just the first weekend. I think you'll be able to discipline first weekend because how much everybody talked about it. Look for it as everybody around him in his circle continues to talk about how awesome a new game is in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, you're right.
To potentially give in. That's what I'm thinking. But maybe he doesn't because he's a guy they found in second half. McVay is dominated. Kingsbury plus 3.5 feels good for me though.
Okay, here we go. Last one. We're going to pick Niners at Broncos. Niners are 1.5-point favorites. Jimmy G is in the lineup for there. Obviously, Russ is cooking and riding there with the Broncos. Who you got?
They gave me a belt buckle, I appreciate them for that, the Denver Broncos. But you go on, give me the Niners right here.
Oh.
Not that long of a flight, not that long of a trip. Jimmy G's all the way back. The squad's ready to roll. George Kittle, I don't know what his deal is, but give me the Niners, dude.
Yeah, I like the Niners here, whether Kittle is in the lineup or not, and that will wrap up all of our picks. Pat, I know you have to leave the game day set. You guys have a bunch of professional things you're doing on that stage. We actually have everyone stick around here. We're going to take a quick 5, and then we have Matt Cassel, the Cast Dog, coming on the other side.
Take 5.
Take 5, everybody. Pat, good luck.
Enjoy, Pat.
Have fun, man. This place is unbelievable. My first time here at the Thunderdome. It's crazy. I'm still walking around, so I appreciate you putting this whole thing together.
Hey, thanks for the Hawk House, dude. That thing is awesome.
It's not done. I got ideas. I'm taking pictures and sending them to Schlegs. I got ideas for things outside and whatever, so yeah.
We're cooking.
Yeah, I got the little accessories make the place. So, Pat, have fun at game day. We will be watching you. I'm sure you're going to be doing awesome things. Cast Dog will be back in 5. We'll see you later.
We're talking hockey. Roldy and Rupper talking hockey.
That was the first time I found out it was Mario Brothers. That's all. Growing up, everybody called it Mario Bros. That was just
Once you're called the fucking king of New York, you didn't feel like you had to dress at a higher level.
What I love about New York is however you want to dress, however you want to, who you want to be, you just blend in, and it's so comfortable.
This is an organization in Arizona that wasn't paying their fucking bills earlier in the season.
Again, he's not trying to square off with Cats because no one.
Someone didn't pay the electric bill around here.
Fucking bum.
Where are you at? Away from the dungeon? What is that? You got the bricks in the back.
The fuck's going on?
Is this a fucking Saw? Is this a Saw movie, dude?
Yeah.
Where's fucking Jigsaw?
You want to play a game?
Hey, boss.
Thanks for talking.
Hey.
You said you swept the stars. That kind of shut me up. For the
that kind of. Not one of my finest moments or proudest moments or whatever you want to call it. I tell you one thing. It's infamous in the sense that I go into schools
and young kids will come up to him and they go, "Oh, you really gave it to Bellows," and I got to. Oh, kid,
Yeah.
you know, that was computer generated.
Get into the Blues alumni kind of unofficially/officially. They gave me one of these bad boys.
Oh,
so
look at that.
I
Got you
feel-
one of
I feel
these.
pretty.
Look at that thing.
That's
What?
what?
We're winning the fucking Stanley Cup. The Red Wings are almost as bad as Fox internet service right
Whoa!
there. The Bruins are getting
Yikes.
fucking ran out of town tonight. Yo, biggest lock, I got it. And Ty knows, even though he might be Mark Stoner in this thing, the Vegas Golden Knights fucking stink. Texas, what's that known for? WrestleMania's coming to town? Wally Mania's coming to town? Not the goddamn Dallas Stars. Let's go, Pens. We can't lose with 7 in the stands. Now,
Hey, great haircut. Good to meet
Yeah,
you
great.
finally.
You know, we're
Yeah,
just
I love it.
outside in the chair.
I love it.
Yeah, no, buddy.
It's as simple as this, okay? You gotta have fuck you in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't, you're missing something.
I said, "Sir, if I could just speak up on his behalf, this is like the second greatest player ever." And Mario turned and looked at me and goes, "Second? Behind who?"
All 4 of those guys aren't rolling, or it's not enough to win one round. This is supposed to be a team good enough to win a cup. We're talking about one friggin' round.
Aaron Burrows told me, and he said this to Henrik Lundqvist's face at dinner. He goes, "Henky, you know how they did the renovation at the Garden for $1 billion? It's all you, bro. It's all you doing in the net. $1 billion renovation at the Garden, paid for in 5 years. It wasn't because the Knicks were in the playoffs. It's because the Rangers went on all those runs, and the stud on the team, among several, was their goalie, Henrik Lundqvist."
Gino, honestly, he's one of the funniest guys you can be around, and he probably busted my chops more than anybody. Why are you so slow? You old. Like, he would look up like my old contracts and be like, "What? No, you're no good."
Thanks for having me on. This was good luck.
Allen shows up way more than just in the measurable stat sheet, though. One point to always remember about him, he's very valuable in a bunch of different ways. He's such a smart player and an excellent blocker. And I would say that about Sammy and Randall as well. You know, those guys really, really block well. There's some big-time blocks by all those guys, and then even on the screen on 2nd and 28 to Romeo, Allen and Randall out there, big-time blocks. Josh Neishman was down there with a block, and we're really, one block away from a 2nd and 28, 50-yard touchdown on a screen pass because of the effort of those guys. So
2nd and 28, so to the edge it goes, and Romeo Dobbs sifting through Dobbs.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Here we go, Friday, September 23rd. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat McAfee here at the FanDuel Thunderdome. Football! We're getting closer. We're getting a little bit better with that, with the drop in here and trying to figure out which camera we are on. But I'm not gonna waste any time, Ty, because we have an unbelievable person waiting on the line who's sitting back there watching us just jabber on. And I want to make sure we bring this guy on because his brain is huge and has so much football knowledge as well as everything else in the world. Very fun guy. Awesome guy. Played quarterback for many, many years in the league with a couple different teams. Absolute stud. Actually played for one of our guests yesterday, Todd Haley. We may ask him a little bit about that, but please welcome Mr. Matt Cassel.
Yeah!
Cass Dog, what is happening?
Got some new digs there. I mean, my goodness, really upping your game with the studio. Wow.
Yeah, Pat he bought this church, I don't know how, a couple years back, and then he's been working on it and figuring it out. And then this past Monday was the first day that everybody was in here. This is my first time actually seeing the facility, Cass Dog. I come in on Do Fridays because Pat is doing game day, and I tell you what, it's basically what would happen if an adult wanted to build a playground where they could go hang out and do all the fun things that they love to do as an adult. this is the place.
Yes,
the fantasy
That-
factory
this is
pretty
the
much.
place. Let's go. It's fantasy for adults. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
I love
awesome.
it, fellas.
Cassel,
So what's going on?
Well, so I want to touch first off last night on the game, the
Yeah.
Browns Steelers game. What do you think's going on there? Let's go with the Steelers first. What's going on there at the quarterback position? How long do you think Mitch Trubisky stays in the lineup? And also, what I really wanted to ask about like quarterbacks. How important is your confidence? I would imagine any position that's huge, but at the quarterback position, I think you have to be 100% confident in every single moment, I feel like. And I don't know if Mitchell Trubisky has that confidence right now. And if you lose it, can you get it back?
Yeah, that's the part about being a quarterback. You got to have confidence, and you got to have some shit to you, right? You got to have a little bit of that swagger, that moxie to play the position. And right now, Mitch, you know, they went out, they beat the Bengals, but a lot of that was defensive oriented, right? They had the 5 turnovers, they had 1 pick 6 by Minka Fitzpatrick. So that's really what won that game. But they haven't been able to really consistently been able to sustain drives. You saw they struggled a little bit against the Patriots last week. They haven't had a ton of explosives. And so from a confidence standpoint, the only way you build confidence is you go out there and you perform well week in and week out. And it's not that Mitch has been performing terribly or poorly. It's just they haven't been able to get it going offensively to where they can say, look, we need to put the team on our back right now, go down, make a big score. And they weren't able to do that last night. Now, from a standpoint of Kenny Pickett, I know that they're high on him, but again, Mitch hasn't done anything to where you'd say, well, he definitely should be out of the lineup. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, they're going to turn to the young guy and see if they give him a spark, if they give him that extra gear to where they can go out and make some more plays and give that offense more confidence. Because sooner or later, if you're struggling offensively, there's a lot, as you well know, in that locker room, right? The guys around you, the wide receivers, the tight ends, they start all questioning, are we making the right decision? We know we got this guy that performed really well in the preseason. You took him in the first round. When are you going to get this guy in the field, give him an opportunity? So it's hard, but confidence just comes with stellar play. And right now that they're struggling to find that.
What about Jacoby Brissett on the other side in the Browns? He had 2 touchdowns, played, I thought, a very good game. I'm sure it seems like he executed the game plan that they kind of had in place going into that week. And I know he was with the Patriots for a little bit. I don't know if you and Jacoby crossed paths ever on the same team, but what do you think he took from at least being around guys like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and all of that?
Right, you can tell he's a veteran presence, right? He's been around the league. He's had his bumps and bruises. He's played with the Colts. He's got a lot of experience. And right now with Kevin Stefanski, I was with Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota, and I know that Jacoby Brissett and I, we never crossed paths. I know him off the field more than I do on the field. We never were teammates, but he's got to have a lot of confidence. And Kevin Stefanski's done a great job of navigating that situation. You know, there's a lot of moving parts here with the Deshaun Watson shadow overhanging in the background, but it's his opportunity to go out there and perform well. He's taking care of the football. He's delivering the ball. He's scoring when he needs to, and they're relying on that run game. You know, it's a run-first mentality, but at the end of the day, when it was time for him to go make a play, to him to step up, he was able to do that, and that's a huge component of it, and that gives, as you just talked about confidence, that gives confidence to that entire team because they've got a good team surrounding him, and the question mark was, how was Jacoby going to perform early? And I think despite last week's blunder with 2 minutes left against the Jets, this team has performed well offensively. I think probably more so beyond expectation than what a lot of people thought.
Oh, I think when you watch the Browns offense and you see Jacoby, I feel like, okay, there's a professional at the helm. The guy feels in control. He feels like he has a full comprehension of what they're trying to do, and it makes you feel comfortable, I think, when you see Jacoby's presence out there. But I wanted to quickly pivot to one of your old squads, obviously the New England Patriots. Everyone loves to ask about Belichick and what's going on there and everything. There was all this talk in training camp about who's calling the offensive plays. Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, Bill Belichick, who's involved. What do you think is going on there, and how much impact or how much input does Bill Belichick have normally on the offensive game plan?
I think he has a tremendous amount of say of what's going on, personnel, matchups, how you're going to attack. Then again, I believe it's Matt Patricia's job. He's calling plays, but it's a collaborative effort, and it always has been that way. As you well know, defensive coordinators, yes, they put together the general game plan, but at the same time, they rely on that linebacker room, the defensive line group to put together the run fits and all the different stuff that goes along with it. Same thing with secondary coaches. They all collaborate together, and it's the same thing offensively. Offensive line coach, which actually happens to be Matt Patricia and Billy Yates, but from the tight end position to all those guys, they all have to have a say during the week. But at the end of the day, when you're putting together the game plan, it's Bill Belichick, it's Patricia, it's Joe Judge, those guys sitting down, formulating a game plan, and then Matt Patricia's calling it with, I'm sure, at any point, Bill Belichick being able to come in and veto certain plays. But, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's a process. Anytime you change coordinator, particularly in the fashion that they did, which is kind of unheard of, going from a defensive-minded guy, a defensive coordinator, now he's calling plays. Now, look, there's a lot of knowledge that comes along with that of understanding scheme and system and the different adjustments that defenses make. But at the end of the day, you knew that there was going to be, some moving parts here for Mac Jones to get comfortable in that new system.
Ty Schmidt.
Cass Dog, you know Tom Brady very well. His wide receiver room in Tampa is very, very banged up. They just got Cole Beasley. We'll see how much he plays on Sunday. From what you know of Tom, how much different is he from other quarterbacks when it comes to having to kind of build chemistry with some of these guys very quickly? Like, do you think we should expect Cole Beasley to kind of jump right in there and have a similar effect to some of those other guys Brady's like Welker and Edelman? Like, should we expect to see something like that on Sunday?
I think you easily should expect that. I mean, I was with Cole Beasley in Dallas, actually, and he's a special talent, especially because he's got unique quickness, right? There's not a lot of guys that can cover him within that 5 to 10-yard range, and Brady will really kind of minimize his package, make sure that he's comfortable in what he's doing, but also take advantage of that, particularly third down situations where they might have to get in stacks and bunches and do that and help him get off the ball, but get him comfortable early. I think he could have an impact in this game, particularly because you said when you look at the wide receiver position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there's a lot of injuries. Obviously, Chris Godwin, he's questionable. Julio Jones, Russell Gage is coming back off of injury. No Mike Evans. So Rashard Perryman, Scotty Miller, those guys are going to have to play. So, and I also think it's going to impact their personnel group this week. They'll probably be in a lot more 12 personnel and try to run the rock with Leonard Fournette and get something going positive there.
Matt, the Bills travel to Miami to play the Dolphins. Obviously, we know what's going on in Miami. There seems to be a groundswell of support, and people are super pumped for what they're doing. The new head coach, Tua, just slanging that thing. What do you see when you watch Tua and this offense play?
Yeah, it's interesting because if you were to watch just that first half of the game against Baltimore Ravens, they were getting smoked, right? It's 28-3. He had 2 picks, and everybody's going, oh, gosh, here we go. It's going to be a quarterback controversy. But that's the beautiful part about playing 4 quarters of football. Then you see the fourth quarter come around. They outscore the Baltimore Ravens 28-3. Tua puts on a clinic. He's throwing the ball all over the yard. And it helps when you have probably the best 2 wide receivers in the league, at least combination of wide receivers in the league for the Miami Dolphins, because Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, what they were able to do. But again, it speaks to, I think, his mental fortitude, his ability to go out there, put things behind him in the first half and go out and just perform in the second half. Because, look, this guy's got a microscope on him. Everybody has judged him all offseason. This is his year. If he doesn't work out, he's going somewhere else. To see him go into a game like that, have adversity in the first half, and then come out and win the ball game for his team in the fashion in which he did, that says a lot about the man. It says a lot about that team, and I think it's a big stepping stone for that organization and Mike McDaniels being a new head coach moving forward, because it gives them confidence that, look, no matter what the situation is at any point in the game, we have the firepower offensively to go out and score points and win ball games.
Cass Dog, we had Todd Haley on the show, and we asked him about you playing for him. I know you started for Todd Haley, and I was lucky enough to spend some time around you guys out in Lake Tahoe right after one of your first seasons there with him, and your guys' relationship was awesome. It seemed like you guys got after each other and had a lot of fun. And Todd Haley said, well, yeah, Cassel was great because he responded well to yelling, so I could yell at him all I want. And I think he loves that you would go back at him too. What was that relationship like, and how key is that, I think, when you have a quarterback and the head coach, especially if he's an offensive guy? Like, I would assume you really want to be super tight with that guy.
Yeah, you know what? There's times where it got combative, right? And I think that
during games or when,
during games, like during the week, it was like great, like even keel. We had normal relationships, but all of a sudden, game day came on, and it was like his head was cut off. He's screaming, he's yelling, he's doing all that. The intensity was like ratcheted up, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" Right? But that was that was him as a coach. Now he was a brilliant offensive mind. He could game plan and do all those things, and I always respected him from that standpoint. And he was also really outstanding with wide receiver position, because that's what his background was coaching wide receivers. But I'm telling you what, he was hard on those wide receivers, and he came from that Bill Parcells tree, so I understand it. But I mean, yes, he would yell at me, and I'm not saying. He said, yes, Cassel would respond to that. I would have responded the same way if he just would have talked to me like a normal human being at times. But at the end of the day, look, we had a good run in 2010, and then unfortunately, things didn't go the way that we both planned. But that's kind of that's football for you, right?
That is football. And Ty Schmidt has another one.
Cash Dog, speaking of the Chiefs, a lot of people in the offseason were kind of saying losing Tyreek Hill might, I don't want to say have Patrick Mahomes take a step back, but I think it's been pretty evident early that him spreading the ball around might make him even better. Do you think that's the case? What have you seen so far from Mahomes? And also that game Sunday, do you think Colts fans should be worried about how Matt Ryan's been playing so far?
Yeah, well, first, I think Mahomes, of course, there's going to be some worry, and there's definitely probably a change in strategy. When you lose a guy as explosive as Tyreek Hill, which he's one of the most unique players to ever play the position, and what he can do with the ball in his hands and how he can blow the top off his coverage. We saw that in the Miami game when it's cover 3. There's a post safety. He runs a post right by him, right? You shouldn't throw that ball, but he's just got that kind of elite explosiveness. But Mahomes has done a tremendous job. Juju Smith-Schuster stepped up. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has done a good job for him. But again, like you said, it's the distribution of wealth. It's not just one individual. Travis Kelce's still going to get his touches, McCole Hardman, but they're doing a good job with the balancing act of the run game. And it probably changes his mentality, because I think before it was, we can throw this ball up, we can take our shots anytime we want. But now it's reading defense. It's making sure you get the ball to the right guy. It's taking the check down when you need to. And it's probably it's an adjustment for sure as a quarterback. But in the long run, it'll probably be a more balanced offense. And you can already see it with the distribution of the ball. In terms of Matt Ryan in this offense for the Colts, I'd say, look, they've had some injuries. The 2 wide receivers were out last week, right, for the Colts. So I know that was a struggle from a personnel standpoint. But again, Matt Ryan's not playing his best football right now. And a lot of it has to do with the protection issues that they have up front. Their offensive line has struggled mightily. And I never would have thought Jacksonville would have come in there and just knocked their doors off and smoked them the way that they did. But I thought that defensive front for Jacksonville got after him all day long, made him uncomfortable. And as you well know, with guys like Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and all that stuff, the protection issues, if you have that up front, it makes it a lot harder because you're stationary in the pocket for the most part. Those guys aren't going to get out and do the boots and the sprints and all that stuff that some of these other younger quarterbacks can do. So you've got to protect him from the interior part of the pocket and on the exterior to give him time to look and see. Because when you do give him time, Matt Ryan's still Matt Ryan, right? He's seen a lot of football. He's an MVP in this league at one time. He's led a team to the Super Bowl, which we won't talk about. I know it's still a sensitive subject for many. But, I mean, all in all, they've got to get it corrected pretty quickly here.
Cass Dog, is any quarterback at any level any good if they don't have protection?
Hell no. That's the name of the game, man. I mean, you get hit a few times, okay, you get back up, and there's guys that'll stare at the barrel of the gun and do all that stuff. But if you're sitting back there constantly feeling like you got to get the ball out early, it just messes with your timing and then your vision as well of, that, hey, the time clock in your mind is going off constantly, and so you feel a little bit rushed. At times you might even feel a little bit panicked, and it's hard, man. It's hard to go out there and play that position when you're not getting protection, because so much of it is just that. Just give me a little bit of time to be able to see the defense, and also from the timing of getting guys to the right depth, to the right the right space to be able to deliver the baby.
Did you see a couple weeks ago when Tua was talking about telling his receivers, hey, if I can't see you, or if you can't see me, I can't see you. So I need you to get into a throwing lane to where I can actually physically see you if you ever want a chance to get in this ball. Is that normal for most quarterbacks?
I mean, there's times where there's just blind spots, right? You got a big 300-pound man blocking in front of you, but I think it's a lot easier for the quarterback to make a general movement, one step one way, one step the other to find that guy. Because not always they're running to spots, right? Let's say you got a return route and you're running 5 yards in and you see that it's zone. Well, you're going to sit down in between those defenders. You're also reading defenders as a wide receiver, and it's hard for him to see into the backfield and say, oh, well, now I can see him. Now he'll throw me the ball. No, you're still got to sit in that zone, because the minute you get outside that zone just so you can see that guy, you become a lot closer to that interior defender that can make a close on the ball and break it up.
If you were the quarterback coach for Kyler Murray, what would you tell this guy to do? Like, I'm sure you saw it, 20-second two-point play, just scrambling, making people miss. It looks like a video game. How do you coach him? Like, okay, we got to figure it out. Yeah, what you can do is so special. It's awesome. You won us this game, but we also got to find a way to maybe have some like 3, 4, 5-second plays too.
Right. I think the big part for him is you got to play within the constructs of that offense, right? And you want him to stay in the pocket because he is an effective drop back passer. Unlike what you see sometimes with some of these guys that can run and become just, passing is secondary, but you got to become a passer first. But then you don't want to take away that unique quality that he has to make plays. And like you said, 28 seconds or whatever it was on the 2-point conversion, it's really hard to cover for that long for a defense, let alone for you to actually go and make that play and set that team up, because that fourth quarter comeback was all on his shoulders, right? He brought that team back, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do that even have the skill set that allow them to do that. So, if it becomes an issue where he's making a lot of mistakes, if he's turning over the ball, if he's taking too many sacks, then that's really where you have to go, hey, look, we got to make some adjustments here. But when he's playing within the constructs of the offense, and then at the same time when protection breaks down, when guys aren't getting open, and he's able to make a play off schedule, outside the pocket, and make a play, that's why you drafted him, right? You evaluate him, Collins, you understand what he can do, you understand his skill set, and you don't want to take that away from him.
Last question here from Ty Schmidt.
Castog, when you look at the Cowboys quarterback situation, your situation in New England wasn't exactly the same because when Tom tears his ACL, obviously you're going to be taking over for probably the whole year. But how difficult is that coming in for a guy like Cooper Kush when Jerry Jones, they're empowering him, but at the same time it's, hey, we want Dak back as soon as we can get him, and recognizing that he has an opportunity here to maybe get a job elsewhere, also while the owner is kind of saying like, hey, we need Dak to come back as quick as possible. 6 weeks isn't going to cut him. We need this guy back, within 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. It's always an interesting dynamic when you're a backup quarterback stepping in for your franchise quarterback. And Dak Prescott is just that. He means a lot to this team. They've paid him a bunch of money. They believe in him. And so for Cooper Rush to go out there and perform the way that he did with his opportunity, I think it says a lot about him. And there's a different mentality. When you're a backup, you're not getting any reps during the week and you're sitting there, and then all of a sudden get thrust in the game. That's just one situation. But for him to now understand that he's the starter moving forward until Dak Prescott comes back, it gives him a great opportunity because he'll get all the reps during the course of a week. He'll have great communication with the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, have a better understanding for what the game plan is for him. Hopefully, Kellen Moore puts him in a position, their offensive coordinator, to where they play to his strengths and really amplify what he does well. And I think that they did that in the game. And then for him to go out and play a clean football game, because they know defensively, look, with Micah Parsons and those boys coming off the edge, they'll be in most games. And so now it's about taking care of the football, playing fundamentally sound, getting them into good positions, being good situationally. And it also will set him up from a career standpoint. If he's able to go out here and perform in this small, sample size that we'll get to see at Cooper Rush, 31 other teams are watching him play on a big stage for the Dallas Cowboys, which are obviously one of the most nationally prominent teams in the entire NFL. It's a great opportunity for him, and I thought he started it off really well.
Castog, we can't thank you enough, man. Thanks so much for coming on here. You have a sweet painting behind you. I know you're you're
yeah,
really
I did
classy.
that, guys. I did that in my barn.
Really?
Did you really?
No, I didn't at all. Come on,
man.
fellas.
I want to buy some of your work if
What are
you
we
did.
talking
I was
about?
going to ask you to paint me something if that was really the case.
Yeah, that's my finger paintings, guys. So you should see the other stuff I do with brushwork. It's amazing.
Like a young Bob Ross. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Matt Cassel. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, Castog.
You got it.
Man, Castog is awesome, obviously, right, Tyler?
Guy's the best.
The guy is, he always brings, and he knows, like, he seems to pay attention to everything, too. He knows a lot about what's going on around the league. Who's he officially working for right now?
I want to say he does a podcast with, like, a beat writer for the Chiefs.
I also thought he worked for NBC Sports.
Yeah, he's doing something for a couple networks, I feel like, at least.
Why not? I mean, shit. Any guy who played under Bill Belichick, and same deal. That when Brady went down that year, everyone just assumed, like, the fucking Patriots are going to suck.
I think it's a show with Tommy Curran, by the way.
Oh,
there we go.
Tommy Curran. How's Tom doing right now? Is Tom losing his mind about the Patriots? Or
probably loving it because every year he says, hey, these guys are going to fucking stink. So if they're not great, fuel for the fire.
I guess so, man. I don't know. I don't know what the Patriots are. Does anybody know what the Patriots are?
No.
Nick, I played some music. It's not playing. Oh,
there it is.
There it is. Look at that. You know what that means? That means we're going to take 5 here.
5.
Right, Ty? We're going to take 5. We still have a little bit of time left. We're gonna close out this final hour here with some good stuff. I know there's a lot of different things we haven't touched on. We'll talk about some of the bigger games that are going on too. Some of the prime matchups. I know we touched on them a little bit. Might go in a little more detail. We may even get out to the phone lines, take a few callers from the 5-hour energy phone lines. We're gonna take 5. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
Just reading this headline here that is written on this piece of paper by Boston Connor this morning. Lou Holtz sent Brian Kelly several letters over his Notre Dame tenure to no response. This must have slipped through the cracks in the group text. Sports Illustrated is reporting, while talking to reporters this past week, Lou Holtz shared that while Brian Kelly was at the helm, he wrote him several letters over his tenure as coach. Unfortunately, Holtz said he never got a response. So, obviously we gotta go.
Well. Looks like I wasn't fibbing when I said that Brian Kelly was a big old piece of shit. He writes this guy letters and tries to tell him, hey, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a successful coach at Notre Dame. Okay, he didn't fucking respond to me once. You know how long it takes me to write these goddamn handwritten letters? I'm not typing them on a Macintosh. I'm not typing them on the Dell. I'm dipping my ink in the quill, and I'm writing these handwritten letters. And what does he do? He says, hey, you know what, Lou? I won't write you a letter, but I'll send some kid into a cherry picker with 85-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll kill him. And then guess what? I still won't write you a letter back. He can apologize, but it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's in the right spot. We got Marcus Freeman with 17-point underdogs at Ohio State. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly gets run out of LSU because before too long, the boosters down there are going to find out what I found out. And that's that he's a big old steaming bag of shit.
Coach, isn't it a chance that you with those handwritten letters that he never got them? He was just checking his email?
No, you kidding me? If I fucking write a letter, it's getting on the head coach's desk, okay? You think Charlie Weiss ever got my handwritten letters or Tyrone Willingham? Those guys always wrote back to me. Always.
Oh, shit. Probably put bacon in those letters.
Thank you, Coach.
That's your buddy Brady Quinn, okay? He knows I wrote a letter before every single Notre Dame home game. Had it in his locker.
What did you say about the game where you're taking on your future brother-in-law, A.J. Hawk?
Well, I said, good luck, Brady. Hopefully you play like a guy like Carlisle Holiday. I'm sure you remember him. He was a great quarterback at Notre Dame, led them to a lot of success. Of course, you know, Brady, unfortunately, they had good seasons, and they got their asses beaten every single big post-game bowl. And we all remember the LSU Sugar Bowl where Marcus Russell, or whatever the hell his name was, he threw it all over the football field. And then AJ and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Did you see the documentary about Manti Te'o? Seems like a really good guy that the world
You know what?
really was rooted to.
Manti's a sweet kid, okay? And I'm sick and tired of everybody shitting on him and making him feel like he wasn't a sweet kid, because he was such a sweet kid. Everything that you want out of a student athlete at Notre Dame. He wasn't Catholic, which I don't love, but he's a sweet kid, and he really got misrepresented in that. I still feel bad for Manti.
Did you write him a letter when all that shit came out?
Once again, I couldn't write him a letter because he's not Catholic. If he was Catholic, I would have, but he's Mormon, and I don't know about his religion as much as I do about the Catholic religion, touchdown Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But no, you know, I feel bad because Manti was such a good player. He was the highest rated linebacker recruit Notre Dame ever had, you know, and look at him now. He's just a sad oose on a beach down in Hawaii.
Did you say sad ooze? Oh Oh my God, Coach Schultz! I did not know you had Oos in the repertoire.
Yeah, of course. I just think I recruited. We got some bad ooses in my time at Notre Dame. Offensive, defensive line. I stole a couple of them from SC and BYU and all those places.
Jesus. Oh, I'll tell you, I did not expect that today.
Welcome back here, Friday, September 23rd, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk, sitting in, as always, on Friday. Pat is down in Knoxville, Tennessee for game day as the Vols take on the Florida Gators,
that's
correct?
Right.
The Gators are coming to town. So we already talked to Pat in the 1 o'clock hour. Awesome atmosphere already down at game day, and the show doesn't happen until tomorrow morning. So I'm sure it'll be a packed house there tomorrow. And we're going to do a giveaway like we always do. But Ty Schmidt, please explain to the fine people what this might be.
Hell yeah, we're going to do something very similar to what we've done the last 2 weeks. Hashtag PMS NFL Week 3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag PMS NFL WEEK 3, the number 3.
Number 3.
We're going to give $500 to 10 winners. Include your hashtag in the tweet and just pick a winner from this weekend. Don't worry about the spread.
Okay.
Just pick a winner. And I believe, AJ, you said that if you make a shot, you're going to double it yourself.
Oh, is that what we said?
I believe
okay,
that's what
should I
you
shoot
said.
it right now? I'm shooting from this seat to that camera, that hoop way over there.
Wow.
You guys want me to shoot it now?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going from my seat, too, all right?
Wow.
Sitting down?
Sitting down.
Yeah, sitting down.
Now, don't destroy the lights.
I'm not even
here,
putting
okay?
a foot on the ground
AJ.
either to stop the spins. I'm keeping my
Don't
feet up.
hit the lights, seriously. Very expensive.
Oh, I thought I had it for a second.
Close.
It's too short. We might do one more.
Yeah, you
before we
might
go.
get another
What-
opportunity.
Tell us again.
Yeah, so it's hashtag PMS NFL Week 3. Include your hashtag and just pick a winner from this weekend's game.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Hashtag
PMS
NFL week number 3.
Number 3.
Not number sign.
No.
Just 3.
Because that would
And that's
break up
10
the
winners,
hashtag.
right?
Yes, it would. It'd be 2 hashtags, and then it would cancel each other out, right?
Exactly.
So
What'd
then
you say,
what?
Z?
That's 10 winners.
Yeah, 10 winners, $500.
Okay, good. All right, I like that. But there's one thing I wanted to touch on here on this sheet that you guys gave me. Apple is to pay $50 million annually to sponsor the Super Bowl halftime show. So what does that mean exactly? They haven't had I thought it's always sponsored before,
Well,
though,
it
right?
was Pepsi, and I believe this last year was maybe the last year Pepsi was doing it.
Yep.
So we'll see. And obviously, this is just a, hey, let's get our foot in the door so that when the Sunday ticket rights come up, we already have a nice little working relationship with them.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be awesome.
But don't they? Isn't the big thing about the Super Bowl halftime show is like a lot of people turn it down because they have to pay a lot of money out of their own pocket to do it?
Yeah, but Apple doesn't have to fucking worry about that.
No,
They got-
Apple. But I'm saying, will they be able to get more people? Well, I'm sure there's not many people turning down
They're
the
also
Super Bowl
connected to
halftime
the
show.
music scene too, right?
Yeah, I mean, Apple
probably a big
Music.
part.
Because
is,
if you go on halftime show, instantly you get 1 billion streams, you get 1 billion downloads for all your stuff.
Well, and I would imagine, too, that they know, like, they're not going to spare any expense on this Super Bowl.
So
they're
now
gonna
are these
blow it
acts
out.
though not going to have to be paying $2 or $3 million out of their pocket on top of whatever? That's why I know that people have said. Didn't they say the Weeknd
Yeah,
spent a
The
couple
Weeknd
million?
did that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was a huge waste
So
of
hopefully
money.
now Apple doesn't. Now if you come perform, maybe you get paid instead of you having to pay.
Maybe more artists too, but I guess last year we had all the West Coast people. So
Yeah.
Oh, that was the big one with Eminem and Snoop and everybody, right?
I mean, I guess it's not Oklahoma, but Arizona's pretty close. Maybe they just bring Toby Keith out this year and really blow it out. Toby Keith,
Who
maybe
else?
get like Brooks and Dunn.
They're still out there kicking, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Brooks
Alan
and Dunn,
Jackson,
George
maybe.
Strait.
George Strait.
Who else we got?
Big and Rich.
Big and Rich.
Oh, Willie Nelson's still kicking around.
Come on.
Isn't he?
I think so. Why not? That'd be a great, Willie and maybe Garth Brooks. Bring him back.
Oh no, Garth will not share the stage. Garth is Garth. He only will share the stage with Miss Yearwood, his wife. You know that.
Well, I mean, give Garth his own stage then, and then
You ever
he can
watch Garth?
throw it to Toby.
Do any of you guys know the? I know this is a football program and a sports program, but do you guys have any idea the and what Tom Segura and his wife Christina P. their relationship with Garth Brooks and the Garth fans and how much they talk about Garth.
I mean, faintly. They think he's a
It's
serial
amazing.
killer,
Yeah,
right?
They talk about all kind of stuff, but Garth is still going out and will sell out stadiums like 2 or 3 nights in a row, right? He'll have 2 shows in an arena in the same night. Oh, I got a 6 o'clock and a 9 o'clock show or whatever he does. I don't know how.
He's
Is he the only
showman.
guy? He's the only guy that can do that, isn't he?
I think not too long ago,
Here he
like
is.
he'll come here and he'll sell out Notre Dame Stadium like 6 times in the span of like 8 weeks. Like he'll come here.
How is that still? Garth was, I remember when I was a kid, I'm 38 years old. When I was young, probably 10, 12 years old, my parents liked Garth Brooks that long ago. Like he was big back then, and he still has sustained that success for some reason.
I mean, Friends in Low Places will always play. You know, people want to hear that.
I mean, the Chris Gaines album is more of what I'm talking. That's what plays.
Of course.
That's the best stuff, isn't
Well,
it?
that's your personal favorite, I know. Yeah, of course. You listened to that on the whole way up here, didn't you?
It's real. I haven't.
While you fed your piranhas, you would put it on.
I haven't listened to that particular album. I would imagine it's a bit like emo, like dark, slow, depressing. Is that what it is?
He's Australian.
No. Oh no! Wait, is he sing with an accent on this one? Do I need to have a listening party?
What are you talking about? You've heard the album.
No, I really haven't. If I have, I can't remember. There's no way Garth's singing with an Australian accent here.
It's your alarm every morning when you wake up.
No, it's
The
gonna
lead
be. I
single.
almost forgot about this guy. This is awesome. Look at Garth. I don't know why we're in a Garth tangent. It doesn't matter at all. I guess because we do want him. Maybe now
Super
Apple
Bowl
steps
halftime.
up. Super Bowl. Oh, Garth. Honestly, he'd probably be a good halftime show, wouldn't he?
Tear the house down for sure.
I feel like it's tough to make a good one because remember when Coldplay did it, or was it Coldplay and Red Hot Chili Peppers together? I don't know. Whatever it was, rock bands are hard because they don't like. It needs to have mass appeal to everybody, and that's really difficult. I think. Don't you?
Yeah, I mean, last year I feel like
great.
by and large
Because they got a lot of old school stuff that made people like older people dialed in, and then younger people too wanted to be cool and like the older stuff.
for sure. But there's also probably a lot of people watching the Super Bowl who are, I don't want to hear fucking Dr. Dre. Get the Who on here for Christ's sake.
You're gonna get U2 whether you like it or not.
Is it going to be this year, you think?
Yeah, Apple and U2 have.
Well, they already have a nightmare, though, when they gave everybody, what was it, with a new phone or with iTunes, you got the new album.
Apple Music. That is still on my phone to this day. It drives me insane.
That backfired hard, didn't
Oh,
it?
hello.
Was it because people didn't like the actual album that came out, or they just didn't want to be force-fed anything?
The force feeding is what I hate. I absolutely hate YouTube now just because of that.
I mean, if you know anything about Bono, he will jam his fist right down your throat.
What do you mean? I don't know this. I don't really know anything about Bono. What's going on with him?
Fucking worldwide
You stole his
superstar.
haircut.
Yeah, that
He
too.
wears
Hello,
some of those
hello.
platform shoes, man. He got some high shoes. I like those old school Doc Martens, but the double sole on them too.
He's a showman.
You cannot deny that. He is an absolute showman. And what, Edge is his drummer.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know the rest of
He
them.
wears a little skull cap.
Guitar player.
Yeah, he's on my bad. Not the drummer. The drummer.
Lead.
Boom. Yeah, drummer's good. Their whole band, obviously, they've been doing it for
Yeah, he
50
loves
years.
you too.
40, 50 years, I feel like. They were in an episode of Entourage. Remember that?
Happy birthday, Johnny Drama.
You know,
He
it was a real
actually
concert.
did that at a concert.
Real
yeah.
concert. I listened to those guys talk about, oh, here we go. Here's
Look at
the
these
crew.
guys.
It's more of a recent shot, right? Okay. All right. Well, I like that hat that Bono's wearing.
I heard they're going to come out with Conor McGregor when he fights Floyd Mayweather. They're going to sing his
Ty, this is the problem with you. Everything you say, you can't believe a word you say.
What are you talking about?
Because of your delivery is impressive, and you're so serious. Like I don't know. I still don't know. Are you serious?
Would you be shocked if you heard that
Nothing.
Bono and Conor McGregor were, sparring partners?
So this is something I say to you know how people are like, oh my gosh, crazy! That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. First off, no, it's not. It's definitely not the craziest thing you've ever seen or heard because people say that every single day.
Yeah.
Craziest thing I've ever seen. Yep. All right, wait 2 minutes, bud. You're gonna say it again. So when people like try to do that or say, oh, best story ever, I just struggle with that. I don't know. I'm just trying to let you know how I feel.
Yeah,
hey,
it's kind
I
of
got
like
the funniest story
you
ever.
need to watch this movie.
Well, see, I'm dealing with that with kids too. Like my 11-year-old daughter, she is a strong-willed woman, and so she, like, if I tell her, hey, you need to do this, and you just had your father, you have a young girl as well. You'll see when they get older. I respect her passion and her stubbornness at times for it, but she's like, Dad, I'm not going to do it just because you told me to do it, Dad. Like they'll do that on purpose. So I think like adults, we don't really ever grow out of that, do we?
No, definitely
That's
not.
why full circle, Evie, jamming the U2 album into your new phone. No, you're going to hate them. Even if you like the music, you probably wouldn't let your brain open up enough to enjoy it, would you?
Absolutely hate it. No matter what they do, they could come out with the greatest song of all time. U2, dead.
Sometimes when Dance with Wolves comes on, I'll leave it on.
See?
Okay.
Sometimes.
Boom.
What else you like, Zeke?
That's the only song I can remember. It always pops up for me, though. I don't know why.
Do they do Beautiful Day?
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful day.
I'll give them
They
credit.
got some.
Good
They got a
song.
lot of hits, man.
Yeah. There's a reason
big time
YouTube
hits.
is selling out Madison Square Garden and shouting out Johnny Drama at the Staples Center.
The rumor is that this year's Super Bowl it will be Taylor Swift.
Oh, I saw that.
See, I don't know if that has enough mass appeal. I mean,
Well,
Swift.
she'll have to
she's-
have like 5 different artists jump in and jump like on songs, though, right? Don't they usually do that? Does she have many songs where she features other artists?
Ed Sheeran.
No,
right?
not recently. She has.
See, I love Ed Sheeran, but I don't think Ed Sheeran plays for the Super Bowl halftime show.
I was gonna say Bieber. I think Bieber would be a universal win. Does he still have the
everything-
juice though?
Yeah. Well, is everything okay with his face?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, how is that going?
Well, I
It was
think
like
he,
Bell's palsy, but it wasn't.
Yeah, he like came back, and I think he was getting
he
ready
canceled
to
his
tour
tour.
again. Yeah, and he just did.
Second half of his tour. Also, you know, Shawn Mendes canceled a whole tour for his mental health and everything. This was a while ago, or like a month or two ago. I don't know why I know this, but
Well, you had box seats to the concert.
I would go see Shawn Mendes in a heartbeat. I'd see Harry Styles as well. Wouldn't
Duh.
you?
Yeah.
I see Harry Styles popping up like the dude was what? He was spitting on old buddy
Chris
at an
Pine.
award show, and then the next night he's in like
He's at
Amsterdam.
MSG.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this dude is
Globetrotter.
going hard. Like that would be he's been on tour for 6 months, I feel like.
That's what all these people do.
You have to make money after the pandemic, I guess, huh?
I mean, Pat just talked about it. You know, Luke Combs, he's on tour for the next how long? You know, they're doing 3 shows
That's
a
the only
week
way
or-
they make money, huh?
Is it money or they're just bored during COVID?
I think
'Cause they couldn't
both.
do shit,
It's
right?
probably, and you're an artist, man. You want to get your art out. You want to play it for the people. And if you've been sitting home for 2 years, yeah, especially if you're in that mode where, hey, I'm selling arenas out. I don't know how long this is gonna last, bud. Like you can't take that for granted. You got to
So
hit the
much
road
money.
now. Like Luke Bryan, big old country singer.
Yeah.
That dude. Why you guys look at me like an idiot? You guys look at me. You never heard of that guy.
What do you mean?
Big old dude. He's the guy. He's selling out arenas all over the place.
Everybody
I see
knows
him.
Luke Bryan.
I listened to him talk with somebody, maybe the Full Send guys. Actually, he was on their podcast, the Nelk Boys, and he was talking about touring. Yeah, he loves touring. He said it's what he does, and that's how they make their money.
Makes sense. Why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know about, you know, touring overseas and everything and only being.
You got something against people outside of America?
No, I don't. I'm just saying, shit, that's a lot of time. You know, you build he's probably got a beautiful little, you know, lake house somewhere.
Oh, he's probably got like a 7,000 acre ranch somewhere as well.
Exactly.
Where he can hang
And guess
out.
what? He's there 2 months out of the year because he's in fucking Istanbul singing Barefoot Blue Jay Night or whatever
For,
his big hit is.
For halftime, you think Kid Rock?
Wait, what?
How about Kid Rock halftime Super Bowl?
Do you think he has the mass appeal that is needed to be that guy right now?
He is NFL.
Do you think Raj Goodall would agree with you, Zeke?
He jams out to Kid Rock on his boat every summer.
He probably does.
You guys have I'm looking through the glass tie. You guys have a light. When you cut to that camera, I see the light, but I can't really see into the glass to see you through the glass.
The glare on that glass.
Nick
so
looks like
bad.
he is giving me the bird. It looks like it, so I guess all things are good. Nick is healthy. I'm glad to see you alive, Nick. Let me see. Is there any more lights you guys have in there?
No, this is like natural lighting too. Oh, we do have one.
Oh, that's just from the screens. I thought you guys had some LEDs
No, I
down
lied.
low.
We do have one. I didn't even know it was there. There's Bruce Brown, and then there's that light. But other than that, this is the only lighting we got.
Hey, Bruce, do you give updates on our fantasy league, like online? Do people, how are we doing that? What do we do?
That's a good question.
Oh, here
Bruce is walking to the mic here as we see.
Yeah, you can go to PMI at PMI Bruce's League on Twitter. It was shadow banned because I tried to make the date, the birth date draft night, so then it thought I was 2 days old. So it was shadow banned, so I don't know if it's accepting followers, but updates will be posted there weekly on Wednesdays.
Okay, good. I know I'm one of my team. Is that how it works, though? We just week to week we play our matchups? I thought it was like whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins.
No, playoffs start week 13, so you're just playing for seeding right now.
Most points might be a tie. That might play.
Yeah, that's probably a tiebreaker of some sort.
Oh, okay. So, oh, man. All right, playoffs start week 13. Why didn't I know any of this?
I mean, that's just how it typically is, you know. I don't know. This is Bruce's league, so the rules may be different. My team absolutely fucking stinks, so we're not even thinking about the playoffs.
Who's your quarterback?
right now. Raj.
Oh, for some reason, fantasy things, he doesn't get fantasy numbers. Why do they say that?
Well, I mean, the Packers' offense hasn't been lights out early, but really it's, you know, the
no receivers.
No, my receivers are pretty good. Godwin's hurt. You know, I drafted 2 Bengals. The Bengals look like shit so far. T.J. Hawkinson Shout out Kurt's Dogs. I thought he was going to be a stud. He has one catch for 4 yards every week. So I'm, a learning process. We're figuring it out right now.
Yeah, it is. The bottom thing here, I've been trying to avoid it, but I see this Arizona State report. It says Arizona State staffers were leaking info to help opponents to get Coach Herm Edwards fired. Is this true? Is this is this confirmed?
I mean, it's per report.
It's a bad.
So.
Herm Edwards, whether people think he's a great coach or whatever, the dude's a very fun guy to be around. Always seems upbeat, positive. I've been lucky enough to spend some time around him. I've always enjoyed being around him. I know a lot of guys that played for him in the NFL that loved him, but obviously he wasn't winning nearly enough at ASU. And was that video real? Would he really get fired? Out? Did you see the video of him walking off the field and it looked like they told him, "You're out of here, bud"? Is that real?
I don't know if it's real. I don't know if he got fired then allegedly. I mean, it could be. But and again, these are all alleged reports, but I don't know. Is it different for a guy like him who he's pretty fiery, and you could see how if they're getting beat all the time, he's still got that NFL mindset. Like these college kids are just like, "I fuck this guy. Get him out of here." We're old. Being held accountable and to this high of a standard, and we suck. We're getting killed. How quickly would that run stale?
Yeah, I would imagine. I think just keeping any college kid's attention, especially if you're not winning, would be impossible. They're just not. I don't think they're going to listen to you if you're not winning consistently. They lost faith in him. But I don't know. Maybe his players still liked him. And it was the coaches and people around him that didn't. But he brought those guys in. Though, what staffers are doing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys that want the head job or something. Maybe someone thinks they should be the intern and get a chance. Is that it? But I don't know.
Well, and even so, if a GA was the one leaking this kind of stuff, there's a good chance that a new guy comes in, that guy doesn't have a job anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they probably, I'm sure everyone there has, if they obviously know this report, they have their suspects of who they think is the leaker, right? So if you're the leaker, you just got to point your finger somewhere else.
Oh, Herm Edwards, I'll tell you what, he's going back in there today and grabbing everyone's throat and saying, "Who did it?"
You think he's doing? You think so? Zeke, you think that's happening?
I think so.
Zeke, how's your fantasy football team doing?
Team Fresh Meat.
I'm playing you this week, Zeke. And we're playing you this week.
Yeah.
The kiss emojis all over the place.
Yep. Goose egg for me.
Zeke's got 6 Cardinals in his starting lineup. So if they have a big day, Zeke's going to win.
Really?
I just traded away James Conner.
Did you really?
Yeah.
To who?
To Team Dirty Butts. Whoa.
Oh, okay. D-Butt and Gertie, how are they doing? They 1-1 too?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think they stink. I'm not sure.
I know I beat them.
Wow.
I mean, who knows? I don't know any. I don't understand what's going on.
Like I said at the beginning of the year, AJ, it's all luck. I promise you, you will realize it is all luck. Because if we knew who was going to play good, we would all just bet on them and make $1 billion. No one knows.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. That's how everything would work, right? If we knew what was going to happen.
And you tipped your hand early trying to trade everybody. Well, you hated
I didn't
Bill's
trade
draft.
anybody.
Yeah,
I love my
Bill's
draft.
a shitty GM. You're not
I
happy
loved
he's
my
your
draft.
co-head
I
coach.
told Bill. I sent multiple texts to Bill. I fully trust you, Bill, to do this. And I love the draft that Bill came up with. And we're 1-1, and we annihilated our opponent last week.
You're like Jerry Jones, dude. You're constantly undermining your guys. You don't delegate. You're out here in the media blabbing your mouth about everything. Just let Bill work.
Well said.
Bill, if Bill gets on a mic, I'm sure he's still a bit stressed from when the YouTube stream went down earlier. Yeah. Bill knows I fully empowered him to do the draft, to take control of it. And my trades was just me trying to be active and be engaged in the league. That's all I was doing, trying to get some people to work with me because I'm like an NFL coach or a GM. Hey, my phone's always there. I'm always listening, no matter who you're talking about. As a professional, I have to listen, and I have to always be trying to make moves.
Sure, but you're the one that's putting the trades out there, so you're actively doing it. You're not just listening to what's coming to your phone. You're basically saying, "Hey, Bill, you're a dipshit. Your draft sucked. Let's get rid of all your guys, and let's get some of my guys in here."
I only tried to trade a few of my players, not all of them.
Wow.
I like a lot of them. I like a lot of the players I had. We have some decisions to make moving forward. But I do love what Bill did with the draft. I really do. Don't ever slander me with that.
I do love your trade strategy as well. All your bad players for all our good players.
It's
pretty
interesting.
sweet.
Smart.
Isn't that how it's supposed to go, right? Oh, here's my team. Mike Hawk Hurts playing fresh meat with the kiss emojis. You killed me with that. So we were 104.56. And Con Man, Team Graham Gano Rocks was 66. So he had a rough day. 66 points is not much, right?
Yeah, no, me and Connor are currently bringing up the rear of the league right now. Connor, of course, is cursed because he did not draft Graham Gano and said he did, and then drafted Thielen instead. But I believe he did trade for Graham Gano to try to reverse the curse.
We did make a trade. I got Thielen, who he said he picked for the Gano pick, and that now he has Gano, so he thinks he's 0-2. He thinks this is gonna completely turn around his team. I'm 2-0, so I'm a little nervous, and now I'm gonna be cursed.
So if you see that, Bill, we have Jared Goff starting at the quarterback position this week.
How do you feel about that?
Love it.
You know what? I do love it. And not just because of Evie's positivity. I do like this. We're playing Minnesota. I do like Minnesota's D. They got exposed a little bit last game. But, I
Lions
like
are one of the
Detroit
highest-scoring
is.
offenses in the league right now. It's Chiefs, it's the Bills, and then it's the Lions.
Do you get penalized big time in this league for throwing interceptions?
I think it's -2.
Is that bad? It's probably bad.
I mean, it's not great.
What's the touchdown give him? Jared
4.
Goff, 4 touchdowns. Okay. What's just like a basic completion?
I think you get 0.01 points per yard.
Per yard. That's what PPR is?
No,
Points per
PPR 's
reception?
There you go.
So
Now,
each
if he's catching balls out of the backfield.
So do I get a point every time one of my receivers catches a ball?
Half point.
Half point. And then depending on how many yards he gets, his yak gives me more?
Oh, yeah.
And then a touchdown 4.
6.
Oh, for a receiver or running back or anybody
Right.
else? But 4 for a quarterback that throws one. What if a
Yes.
quarterback runs one in?
6.
Oh, so that's why these shifty quarterbacks are who you want.
Boom.
Boom. And Josh Allen was Josh Allen the number 1 pick?
No.
Who was?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, you're right, running backs. Because running backs give you 6. Who had
Now you're getting it.
didn't somebody have 20 touchdowns a year or two ago?
James Conner.
James Conner. So he's a fantasy person's dream.
You could say that.
He was last year.
Are you guys in
Not
all?
so much before that.
Are you guys in other fantasy leagues?
No.
What's the worst thing you have to do? Did you have to draw a dong on your forehead if you were last place in other leagues?
Well, I've never gotten last place, but yeah, I mean, maybe.
What is
Drawing a
that? Should
dong
be
on
like
your
a
forehead.
segment. What's the worst thing you had to do? What was the worst punishment for your fantasy football league? We should try to gather some of those, and then we'll pick and choose and tell us what we think the best punishments were for last place.
Yeah, no one's ever done that before, right? That's
I don't
not
know.
usually a funny gimmick on every fucking
Well, I'm saying
morning
we
show.
could actually get into the real ones, though. We can get
Yeah.
into the ones that are like the bad ones. Like, I would not have done that. Like they can do the power puff ones. Like, oh, hey, I had to wear a red shirt that said poop on it and walk down the street. No, we don't care about that. We want to do the ones that are like, I had to point a gun to my forehead in the middle of the street on Thanksgiving or something like that.
Russian roulette on Thanksgiving. That is messed up.
Yeah.
What about Christmas? Is that better?
That's even worse.
Why? Jesus.
Sacred holiday.
Lord's birthday.
Mine wasn't that bad. I had to do, I don't know if you saw it, I had to do the beer combine, we called it. So our league kept track of it every single year. And I came in last, you had to do like 3 shots, drink a beer, then you had to go throw a ball as far as you can, chug a beer, punt a ball as far as you can, chug a beer, kick a field goal, chug a beer, run a mile around the field, chug a beer.
Run a mile?
Yeah.
How about 1 lap? Why would you run a full mile? Would it take you 20 minutes?
That's what was agreed upon.
You know what? That's a good one because I do not want last place. I want no part of that. How'd you do, Nick?
Not great. I had to run a 40. I made the field goal. I made one field
does
goal.
everybody come out and watch?
No.
So you just
We had to record it.
So you went and you did all this stuff, and then you just went, "Hey, hold on, guys, let me run a quick mile around this track," and you ran 4 miles, and people sit there and watch. Or
It
4
may have
laps?
only been a lap. I can't remember. It was a couple years ago.
Either way, it's too
we had to
much.
record it and send it to everybody.
You should have had to do shotgun like a 6 beer bong funnel, and then spin around on the bat on your forehead, and then go make a half court shot.
That's a good
You
one.
think you could do that?
No, probably not.
No.
Shotgunning a 6 beer.
Okay,
funnel.
3 beer
Do you
bong.
know how much fucking
a
beer?
3 beer bong for you, Ty. Could you do it?
I mean, I'd certainly try. I'd be up to the challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah. How's your daughter?
She's good.
What's it like being a dad?
It's awesome, man. I
So
love
how
it.
old is she
Kidding
now?
Me? What's today? The 23rd. She'll be 3 months in a couple days here.
How's your wife like it?
She loves it.
Does
She's
she?
back at work, so. Oh, here you go.
What is? Oh, this is Nick.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't see this, Nick.
Oh.
What?
This was like halfway through.
Yeah.
It was a hot day too.
It was cooking.
Hot day.
I'm so happy I brought this up. Wait. How many other guys in the league?
12 team league?
So were you hungover when you did this already?
No, this was like a Friday afternoon.
Oh my goodness.
Right after work.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. What is our punishment for last place? Do we have one?
We have not figured that out yet. But whatever it is, it's
like a weird, like a tattoo. You gotta get a
no,
neck
it
tattoo.
was someone's gonna have to wear a shirt on Radio Row with whatever we decide.
What is that gonna be?
Well, I don't know. Don't get last place.
I don't want to. I'm not going to. Come on now. First place. What's first place get? Oh, $25K and $25K to charity.
Yes.
I already told. Yeah, I texted Bill 3 weeks ago. I said, pick your charity now, Bill, because they're going to be getting $25K richer at the end of the season. Where is Bill? I can't see Bill in this new setting.
He's slithering around here somewhere. I would imagine he was freaking out earlier.
Did we get to the bottom of what happened, Foxy, or anybody? You know, like
He was putting bamboo in his fingernails. That's how pissed off he was.
See? Sounded like it was just
Punishment.
Universal YouTube Live was shut down for everyone, and then Bill said everyone had to make a new stream like we did, and everyone's back.
Okay, so everyone did the same thing. Even like Mr. Beast, if he was live, they'd have pulled him down.
I guess so.
So apparently they emailed him. They said that there was a person doing a
here he
vacuum.
is.
They're vacuuming the house, and they unplugged everyone's stream.
What?
Man, I thought the person that had the switch was pooping maybe and didn't flip the switch on.
Oh, that could be.
What's up, Bill? What happened?
You talking about the YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
They told us that
He's
they
so
were doing a
mad.
big platform change, and they completely fucked it all up. So
Who's they?
Everything went down. Our YouTube Connect told us that they were working on stuff and fucked it up. So,
So is that how it works? Does like this? Obviously, this program, big program on YouTube. Do you have somebody that you interact with daily about it?
well, yeah, it's actually pretty funny. We were talking about it, yesterday or 2 days ago, to where, like, the first time we got a YouTube contact is whenever that one stream of ours just completely went off air with no answer. You're supposed to get one of like 100,000 subscribers, and we were at like 1.3 million and never got one until then.
What is that about?
Who knows?
They don't take you seriously over here.
Probably
What the hell
not.
is that?
What are they doing?
Let's not bury YouTube.
No, I'm not.
Let's please not do that.
YouTube is
They're
awesome.
listening.
Like, yeah, believe me, they're awesome. They are. YouTube changed the world. It really did.
There
like when
is
you think about it.
There is another live streaming platform that reached out to us today.
No, we don't
great,
care.
Great day.
We're
Doesn't
great.
matter.
No,
Doesn't
YouTube's the
matter.
man.
We're back up.
It doesn't matter. We're back. It wasn't anything YouTube did. It's something they couldn't control. With it, if everybody's live situation goes down, then yeah, it's nothing. Like there's no one really to blame there. I don't think. Anyway, I'm glad we're back and I'm glad we figured it out. But YouTube really did. Like if I need to do anything in the world, I can YouTube it. Like okay, how do I put this together? How do I mount this? How do I do that? Like you don't need dumb instruction manuals for anything anymore because there's probably 30 people, at least for any subject you want, that made some kind of video on how to do exactly what you want to do.
And now with TV, like a lot of people rely on YouTube as like their main provider of TV. You know, you cut in the cord big time. And it's like, so if you're watching anything, there's a good chance if you're not, I mean, it's technically streaming, but if you're not Netflix or whatever, like you're probably watching, stuff on YouTube.
That's how I watch pretty much everything. And you know what also does a good job? The NFL's YouTube channel, if you need to see like a condensed version of 15 minutes of a game, they do a great job of putting all the relevant plays on there, and you can feel like the flow of the game. Like they do good stuff.
They
man.
get it up so fast too.
Do they? Is it right after?
Yeah, they do a good job.
How many people do they have on that?
A lot.
So the NFL's YouTube page is making a lot of money. You're telling me?
I would assume.
so.
Yeah.
Because it's also, I know if you're clean and you don't cuss and you don't do whatever, you make more money, right? Because it attracts more advertisers. Is that right?
Probably.
I think so.
I don't know. You guys are the ones that know this stuff.
I mean, I didn't go to fucking Wharton. I'm not.
You could
an
have.
advertising
You could have gone to
executive.
Wharton, though, couldn't you?
I don't know.
What was your SAT, ACT? You don't have to tell us.
We don't need to get
Pretty
into
high.
that.
I'm sure it was really, really
Pretty
good.
good.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
Not like an actual.
You don't have to tell me your number. I just wonder when people tell me their IQ, I'm like, what? Is there a universal test somewhere that we could take?
I think there is because you have to take one to like qualify for Mensa or whatever. But
what exactly? Can you tell what that is for the people? A real smart group of individuals.
It's like the Genius Club, you know.
Is it
If you have a
like
really
Bilderberg
IQ.
or something like those where they go and make policy for the world?
Jesus.
Easy.
No.
Okay.
It's not. Okay, it's a different
I
club.
think YouTube just went down again.
Is it like the Soho House, like in New York City? Soho House, the membership club?
Yeah, very similar to like the Downtown Athletic Club, the Soho House,
Mensa.
Yeah.
All the same thing, same umbrella.
Yep, you bet.
That sounds good, Ty. You know what? We're gonna wrap this sucker up today. Monday we will be back for Overreaction Monday, but we do not have Hammered Down, right, today?
Correct, because Tony is still, with his brand new baby.
Tone Diggs, congratulations. We appreciate you. Obviously, Hammered Down will be back. Not sure exactly when yet, right?
Still figuring it out.
Ty, I want you to one more time explain what this giveaway is and what the hashtag is.
Yep, hashtag PMS NFL Week 3, just the number. Put your cash tag in there, and pick a winner from this weekend. Don't worry about the spread. We'll give $500 to 10 people. Hashtag PMS NFL Week 3.
Great job, Ty. Great job, boys. Everybody in the back, everybody that set this whole thing up. This is not even reality. The fact that this is the Thunderdome, and this is I get to come in here on Fridays. I love it, man. It's fun. This place is going to be awesome for many, many years. So thanks for having me come in here. I appreciate it. What's
AJ,
up?
we got to do it. You got a football by your side?
Oh, yeah, here we go. I got this. I'm doing it again.
If you make this, we won't give it away for 10 people. How does 20 people sound
Yeah,
if
there we
AJ
go.
Hawk makes this shot right here?
it.
Let's
Yep.
go, AJ.
I'm sitting down.
AJ's going to double it.
You know what? That's a lot tougher than it looks.
Oh, you don't say.
Figuring that depth percent. Well,
Especially
hey,
sitting down.
I wasn't sitting here making fun of people for missing. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to bank that in eventually. But I'm going to get it. Don't worry, Ty. You know I will. Just like the beat drop. I'm figuring that
You're
out.
gonna shoot
and
a
change it on
basketball
me.
and see if,
No,
you know.
no, I'm not a clown. I don't
Okay,
need to.
fine.
I'll throw the
You're
two
cheapskate,
footballs.
obviously.
Oh, no. Don't worry about that. But Overreaction Monday. We'll be back on Monday, Ty.
Hell yeah.
Tell people who signed your jersey.
It's Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell. We love it.
Yep, linebacker for Hawkeyes.
31 is such an Iowa linebacker number,
Hell
too,
yeah.
isn't it?
Hell
I love
yeah.
it. I love the people from Iowa. I tell you what, I played those guys every year. They had hard heads.
Tough
They
games,
played
man.
hard. They're a
That's right.
gritty group. I respect the
dogs.
hell out of those guys. But, boys, thank you guys so much. Thank everybody for watching, listening, wherever. We'll be back on Monday for Overreaction Monday. Check Pat out tomorrow on game day from Knoxville. The Florida Gators play the Tennessee Volunteers. It should be a fun atmosphere, I'm sure, down there. But we'll be back Monday. I will be back in Ohio, most likely. We'll see you then.